Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see we have Virginia here, Darlene. My name is Ashley M. Fox. We are tuned in to the How to Invest in Stocks and ETFs as a beginner. Comment in the chat where you guys are from, if this is your first time tuned in. I see we got someone from Baltimore. Who else? Cincinnati, North Carolina. Who else do we have? Detroit. I love it. New York, Shreveport. I hope I said that right. Louisiana. But also, if this is your first time tuned in, so I see we got Myrtle Beach, we got New York, Alabama, North Carolina, first time. I love it. Florida, Georgia. I love it. So I'm from Philly. Anybody from Philly? And I also do live in Atlanta. I used to live in New York, though, in DC. All right, let's go through some housekeeping. First things first, if you are here to get rich quick, this is not the class you want to take. Unfortunately, I am not going to show you how to start with some money and make millions of dollars. I am not that good. But if you do have at least $20, you are able to implement everything we are going to talk about during this training. I am also not a trader. Excuse me. So I'm not going to show you how to make a quick flip. I will show you how you can invest, build income, put yourself in a position to retire, but also being able to start with what you have and building from there. Class is going to last about 90 minutes. So do me a favor. The class is live. Ask as many questions as possible. I won't be able to get to everybody, but I will do my best to make sure I'm looking in the chat, answering some questions, but we're going to cover a lot. So please make sure you have your notebook and pen. The other thing I want you guys to know is that I do not manage money. I do not trade for you, and I don't do trading pools. This is important because I have a lot of fake accounts on social media across every single platform. So if you look here on the screen, these are my actual accounts. I will not DM you asking you to send me money, and I will not invest for you. I'm not investing for you. My job is to teach you how to fish, to give you the resources so that you can do it on your own. I also want you guys to share this class with 2 people right now, whether you are on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you are watching this. Share this class with 2 people you know who want to learn, who want to build. Another important disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor. And I tell you that because I cannot make investment recommendations. So I am not able to tell you what to buy. And throughout this class, I want to cover a ton of different investment ideas. But I'm not telling you to buy them or giving you any recommendations, using them as examples so that you guys can fully understand how to implement these things and learn and do this on your own, which is extremely important. Now, who do we have in this class? Comment the number that is connected to who you are. Anybody here currently employed? Anybody, look, Ashley, I'm ready to quit my job. I'm ready to retire. I'm a parent looking to build generational wealth. Do we have any entrepreneurs here? Anybody here? Look, I just want to make some extra income. I'm looking to grow financially. I'm looking to learn how to do more with my money. Comment in the chat. I'm seeing Stacey says she's number 3. I see number 5. I love it. Okay. But if you are here, you're here, you want to grow financially, or you're looking to do more with your money. Now, has this crossed anybody's mind? How can I start investing in the stock market? What companies can help me create passive income? Do I need a lot of money to buy an ETF? An ETF is an exchange traded fund. We're going to talk about that from the top to the bottom today. Anybody feel like, is it too late for me to invest? Am I too old? Anybody say, I'm afraid to lose money in the market? Has anybody ever felt like that? Anybody wondering, Ashley, you're teaching a class. What do you get out of teaching this class? Did that cross anybody's mind? What steps do I take and where do I start? If this has crossed your mind, it's completely fine. Now, this training is important to all of you. I'm talking to Tina. I'm talking to Tracy Miller. I'm talking to Grace. I'm talking to Shirley, because a lot of you want to retire. You want to retire, but you don't know if you have enough money set aside. You feel behind, but you want to make more money. You want to change your life financially, but you're not sure what you need to do to get there. Some of you have been following a bunch of people. Some of you have been taking a bunch of classes, paying for programs, and you don't know who to trust. And you're trying this, you're trying that, but nothing's really working. But you want to get better with your money this year. You said in 2026, you wanted to make more money, but you're not sure if you're going in the right direction. Now, what I want all of you to do, I'm talking to Kyron, I'm talking to Willie, I'm talking to Ashlyn. I want you to imagine that you could actually build a retirement plan from stock and ETF investments that you learned about today. Imagine that every time you put your money in an investment, You unlock the power to create passive income, but you didn't need a lot of money to get started. Imagine Delano, Devin, Sean, that you can live off your investments, collect the income, but you don't have to do any of the work. Imagine if your family, I want everybody to take a second, imagine if your family could live the life that they dreamt of. Have the security, have the freedom, because you decided to take action. Now, I want you to imagine you can do that without borrowing money from the bank, without having to read boring information, needing a license to do this, hiring an advisor, or like having thousands of dollars to start. Most importantly, my job is to make sure you can implement these things after this class. And I want all of you to hold me accountable to doing that. Now, when it comes to you learning about money, I don't know about you, but I'm a big old researcher. If I'm being coached by somebody, listening to somebody, I'm looking you up, I'm reading up on you. And I think it's important because I did see there were a lot of new people here in this training. And I think it's important that you all know who I am and what I get out of even being in this class, teaching you this. So do I have your permission to take just 5 minutes and walk you through who I am and what I get out of teaching this class? Comment yes in the chat. If I just 5 minutes, do I have your permission to walk you through who I am and what I get out of even teaching this class and why I'm even here? All right, Audrey says yes. Mia says yes. Okay. All right, my name is Ashley M. Fox. I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Empify. Now, Empify is a financial education tech company that's revolutionizing how adults and children are learning how to build wealth. Now, Empify is a word I created. It is a merging of the word empower and modify. So if you think about everything you did not learn in the school system, my company Empify gives it to you. Everything we don't talk about at the dinner table is what my company Empify gives you the confidence to talk about at the dinner table. Now, we also have an app in the App Store called the Wealth Builders Community app. There are almost 8,000 people in 22 different countries that are learning how to invest, learning how to plan for retirement, learning how to create wealth and pass it down to their kids with an estate plan. And I tell you this because some of you may have found me on the internet, but my company Empify is ranked one of the fastest growing companies in this nation. Out of 5,000 companies, Inc. magazine ranked us number 145 as one of the fastest growing companies that is creating investing education for all communities, breaking generational curses and promoting financial ease. And I tell you this because while you might see me on the internet, there's an entire company behind me that is changing the world. I am blown away that for the past 16 years of my life, I have worked on Wall Street with millionaires and billionaires, helping them invest their wealth and sustain it. I am blown away that my company Empify has gone into prison systems, school systems, worked with Fortune 500 companies, helping the everyday person learn how to build wealth. I am blown away that our members in our app have invested over $18 million. And 86% of the people in our app were brand new investors by the time they came across my company. Now, this is what you're going to find on the internet about me. Let me tell you what you won't find on the internet. I was born in Philly, and I am an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman, and I went to the best HBCU in the world, Howard University. And if I'm being honest, I didn't know what entrepreneurship was in 2006 when I went to Howard. I just wanted to make money. Anybody in here just want to make some money? Comment money in the chat if you just want to make. I just wanted to make money. I wanted to wear nice clothes. I wanted to just have a prestigious career, right? And so I landed my dream job working at JP Morgan, one of the biggest banks in the world. And I worked in asset management. So our clients had at least $25 million. And my job was to grow their wealth, protect their wealth, and preserve it. And watch their kids stay rich. And every day I'm at work wondering why the mother raising her children didn't get access to the tools she needed to be debt-free and to put her kids through college. Why is it that the hardworking man, the hardworking woman Why weren't they given access to the financial tools and resources they need to retire and have financial ease? Why is it that people work so hard, yet are not in a position to learn how to invest, given the confidence to trust the banking system? But every day, I'm seeing our clients get all of this. And I realize that for something we use every single day of our life, Deborah, why is it not taught in our school system? Why did I have to major in finance, work on Wall Street to learn how to invest, to learn the financial tools and resources that I need to be able to be debt free? And I wanted to do something about that. So this picture you see on the screen is July 12th, 2013, my last day on Wall Street. Because I knew that I wanted to be the woman to financially empower the 99% of the world that Wall Street often overlooks. Now, I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I knew that Ashley Marie Fox was going to be the one who took this knowledge and brought it to the everyday person who didn't get the opportunity to be on Wall Street. Now, I remember before I even show you that next slide, February 2014, I'm walking down the street in Harlem, New York, Lenox Avenue, snow on the ground. It's cold outside. Ice. It was literally ice in the street. Guys were at the corner in the bodega, and I'm walking down Lenox Avenue. And I go to my apartment. I get on the elevator, and I get to the door. I turn the doorknob, and I walk in my apartment. And immediately, I fell to the floor. How could this happen? What did I do wrong? I see nothing but pink and neon green eviction notices on my floor. How could a woman who made 6 figures on Wall Street now can't even afford to pay her rent? I felt unworthy. I was embarrassed. I'm here trying to teach the world about a subject, and I can't even handle my own basic essentials. $80,000 in debt. Getting kicked out, pleading to the judge in Harlem, just give me 30 more days. I'm going to figure this out. I didn't do it right this time, but I'm going to figure this out. I was lost. I was confused. I had this 2008 Hyundai Elantra on the screen. And I drove back to Philadelphia to sleep on my parents' couch. 1 month turned into 6 months. 6 months turned into 1 year. 1 year turned into 2 years. And I refused to move into the bedroom I grew up in, that I slept in as a little girl. Every day trying to figure it out. And finally, after 2 years of sleeping on my parents' couch, embarrassed that I had to go back home to my parents, a grown woman not knowing what to do with her money, but had this idea, this company called Empify, that she wanted to change the world. Nobody in my family ran a business. I made more money than both my parents working on Wall Street, and now I have nothing, asking them for a place to stay. I had one of the best careers on Wall Street, but after I left, I wasn't the best with my money. I had $30,000 when I left. Excited too. Sold all of my investments to be here in front of you today, to start this company, Empify. I was making thousands, and I had to sell everything until I had nothing left. Some of you in here right now can relate to that story. Some of you right now have the good job, but you aren't the best with your money. Fast forward to today. The woman in front of you no longer lives at her parents' house, but has learned that your investments can help you start. I'm not here to tell you I'm going to turn you into a millionaire, but I am here to tell you that if you don't start investing, you will never feel like you're progressing. If you don't start investing, you won't have the resources to become debt free or use your investments to start your business how I started Empify or to travel the world. But we all deserve to be that wealthy client because last time I checked, Miss June Brown, Mark, Celeste, wealth doesn't have a color. Therefore, it looks like you just as much as it looks like me. But I learned that spending money and looking good has nothing to do with creating passive income. You see, I had a good job. I was making 6 figures, but the moment the job stopped, so did my money. I didn't know what to do when the check stopped coming in every 2 weeks. So I'm here to tell you, while you do have the income coming in, while you do have the job, while something is moving in your life, you have to give that a job description. So much that if you ever stop working, you choose to stop working, you are at retirement, that you have access to financial resources because you gave the money you're making now a job description. This is me in Bermuda teaching this class to people in another country. That story I just told you was featured in Inc. magazine last year. Losing it all helped this entrepreneur build a financial wellness brand. This is me on television in front of millions of people talking about investing in Yahoo Finance. The woman in front of you today has impacted the lives of over 2 million people around the world. Our members collectively, that number is actually old, that just changed last month, is now $18 million our members have invested. So what I want all of you to do is look up Ashley Fox, the Inc. magazine article, and Afrotech, ABC News, and I'm on television teaching 10-year-olds how to buy stocks. Because I'm going to tell you now, if I wanted to make money, I would have stayed on Wall Street. I would have went back to Wall Street when I had nothing. But you see, I don't have a plan B. I understand that in order to talk to those types of people that I had access to, you have to have a certain balance in your bank account. But who's talking to the people who want to build wealth? They just don't know where to go. So you could pay me $100 million right now. I'd wake up every day and I still would be all over your social media timeline. I'd still be teaching these classes because I'm not doing something that I want to do. I'm doing something that I've been called to do. So we are going to lock in together and make sure that you are crystal clear on how you buy a stock, how they pay you income, how you can utilize ETFs to own multiple companies. And I need everybody to adopt the mindset. Now, I'm all about evidence, okay? I'm a see it to believe it kind of person. That I got to see it. The reason I know I'm going to be a billionaire because I was around billionaires all the time. I've been in homes of billionaires. But this woman, Leslie, at the end of last year, right? She's a member in our app, graduated our passive income boot camp. She was going through hard times financially. And she was coming to my classes. She found me on YouTube and she came to the class. She said, I want to do more. So she became a member in our app, took our passive income boot camp. And as soon as she started, life happened again. And she wanted to quit. She slowed down, but she knew she needed to keep going. And she finished and she graduated. Now she wants to learn about growth stocks. Now she wants to learn about REITs. Now she wants to be committed to retirement. So despite what you have gone through this year, ladies and gentlemen, we are now into the second half of 2026. I need you to level up your mindset like today is January 1st. But if this woman can persevere through her financial challenges, coming into our app, having financial challenges and going through life while in our app, but still push through, I know you can do this. So I need everyone to adopt Miss Leslie Davis's energy, her mindset, her perseverance. Now, when it comes to me in investing, this is important. I made my first stock investment with $300. Now, I was around millionaires and millionaires, but I said, I'm going to start with $300. I bought my first stock because I saw rich people doing it. Now, here, get this. I bought my first ETF. I bought it probably in like a week or so. It dropped. So when I saw the price drop, I panicked. I panicked and I sold it. That probably was one of the worst investment decisions I had ever made in life. To this day, I missed out on over $7,000 because I sold my ETF because it dropped. I got emotional, so I made a decision. I didn't use logic. I didn't know what I was doing when I bought it, so when it dropped, I sold it. Lesson 1, before we even get started, don't buy anything out of emotion. There's no feelings allowed in this class. There's no feelings when you're building wealth. I sold it because I wasn't uneducated. I sold it because I was scared. I had fear. When things drop, ladies and gentlemen, that's the best time to go shopping. When prices drop on Black Friday, we love it. But when the market drops, we get scared. Shifting our mindset is how we're going to build wealth. Now, I have a 9-year-old niece. This little girl here is making over $9,000 in her portfolio in passive income. Now, we're going to talk about how we can do this with your children. When I started investing for my niece, she was in 2017 when she was born. I got her social. I started with $35. 9 years later, this girl I literally will be at $10,000 for her, literally by within the next 30 days. I'm pushing to get to $10,000 just so I can say we have a 5-figure passive income portfolio. So while we're going through this, think about the children in your life. You don't have to start with a bunch of money. I started with $35. Don't you dare let anybody tell you have to start with a lot. You start with what makes you comfortable. I'd recommend at least $20. Now, have any of you ever given your money or used any products that these companies own on the screen? Has anybody ever used an Apple product? Has anybody ever used Google or YouTube? Because YouTube's owned by Google, Amazon or Meta. Comment yes in the chat if you have given your money, your time, your energy. Now, listen, these companies are worth over $1 trillion. So we're talking about some of the biggest companies in the world. And in reality, if you're like me, you can't live without these companies. And you probably don't want to live without these companies. But let me tell you this, you are the reason these companies make so much money. But if you were to buy each of these companies individually on the stock market, you're spending around $1,500. Not everybody's walking around ready to invest $1,500. But I'm going to show you an ETF where you can own all these companies for around $60. Right here, the Fidelity Blue Chip ETF. The Fidelity Blue Chip ETF. Around $60. And instead of buying these large, reputable blue chip is the most expensive chip in the poker game. So blue chip, when you hear that, is the most valuable, reputable companies that exist. $60. Okay. So instead of buying them, and I'm going to walk you through how ETFs work, but I just want to open your eyes to what's possible. You can go and buy Amazon stock on your own. You can go and buy Apple stock on your own, or you can buy an ETF, a growth ETF that has all those companies within them. Now, what I want everybody to do is get your notebook out, and I want everybody to share this class with 3 people. 3 people you know that want to invest, and comment the word share in the chat. 1, because we don't gatekeep. 2, there's not enough of us talking about it. 3, I know you know friends, your followers, your family who need this information. They might not listen to you, but they might listen to me. At least to spark something inside of them. So comment the word share because we don't gatekeep. We need this information. And until we get big enough at Empify to make sure it's in every single school, I have to lean on you to make sure the word gets out. Now, here's how this class is going to go. Is it all right if I'm honest? I want to be very transparent so nobody is confused. We are going to cover a topic that can help the everyday person, no matter how much money you have, invest and build a solid financial foundation. We're going to talk about stocks and exchange traded funds, ETFs. Now, I am also going to show you ordinary people doing extraordinary things because I like evidence. And I'm a really great teacher. You'll learn. You'll see. I'm going to get so excited. You're going to see my passion. And I'm going to break it down in a simple way. But I've been doing this for over 16 years. I'm going to introduce you to people who are investing in ETFs that have 4, 5, 6-figure, 7-figure investment portfolios. By the end of this class, as long as you stay to the end, comment I'm staying if you plan to stay to the end. I am going to make sure you know how to buy stocks and ETFs. I'm going to make sure you know how to start. I'm going to make sure you know the different types you can invest in. And I'm going to show you how you also can create income. Now, I want all of you to hold me accountable. I want to make sure that I give you what I promise you, that I'm not wasting your time because I definitely can't waste my time. Now, I am going to open your mind to a new level of thinking. I am going to remove the fear, give you confidence you need, and break it down in a simple way that immediately after this class, you can implement every single step. But I am not going to spoon feed you. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to give it to you with a shovel, but I'm not spoon feeding you. I am going to give you everything I've got during our time together. And some of you are going to be ready to take action. And then there's some of you who have more questions. Some of you who want to need more help. So how dare I give you all of this and leave you to do this on your own? So I will invite you to take a longer journey with me to do more. We have an app. We have events coming up. There's so much we have at Empify. But my number one priority is to make sure you understand how you can invest in ETFs on your own, stocks on your own, and the types that are available and the ones that can help you build income. And I will invite you to take a longer journey with me if you choose. Is everybody on the same page to know exactly how this class is going to go? Comment yes in the chat if we are ready to lock in. Comment yes in the chat. Okay. All right. Christina says yes. Mia says yes. Agnes says yes. Ron, Raymond. All right. Let's do it. Let's lock in. Number 1. Now, I'm going to go through core steps. Every step is going to take you to another level. So I'm not going to go fast, but I need you to make sure you understand each step, because if you don't understand each step, the next step won't make sense. All right. Now, before we buy a stock in an ETF, what you need is an account that gives you easy access. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through all the places you can buy a stock in an ETF where you can have your money evolve and grow for you. But before I do that, I want everyone to outline, write it in the chat now, what accounts do you currently have? What types of accounts? Now, let me preface this. Investment accounts. Investment accounts. Write in the chat the investment accounts. Mia, what is an ETF? An exchange traded fund. But before I tell you about an ETF, Mia, I got to make sure you know how to buy it first. If you don't have an account, just say I don't have an account. Any investment accounts. All right, I'm seeing 403B. I'm seeing, what else am I seeing? I'm seeing mutual funds. Okay. I'm seeing I don't have any account. IRA and annuity. I like it. I see some of you naming the company. What type of account do you have with the company? Just because you work with Charles Schwab has a bunch of different types of accounts that you can open. I just want you to know that. I got multiple accounts with companies. 401k, brokerage account. Okay. Webull, brokerage account. Okay. This next slide is probably one of the most important slides in this presentation. So take a picture of it. This here are the only 3 places where your money can go. Tax now, tax later, tax never. Ideally, you want your money in every bucket. I actually have my money in every single bucket on this screen. But what I want you to decide and understand is where you do have money and where you don't have money. Because everything around, so you can put Amazon stock, right? Or that ETF I showed you earlier, you can put each of those and you can put them in each of these buckets. but how it's taxed is what matters. So pay attention. Tax now is the most simple one. Tax now means you're making money. If you make money in that tax year, you pay taxes in that year. That's it. Tax now is the most flexible. So CDs, savings accounts, brokerage accounts. A brokerage account is the account that connects the buyer of an investment to the seller of an investment. Tax now, again, there's really no real issue with when it comes to investing in a brokerage account. There's no limitation. Tax now means the IRS gets their money now. Now, remember this. Anytime the IRS does not get their money now, there's always a rule or stipulation. Then you have tax later. Tax later means you make some money in this year, but you pay taxes later down the line. So these are things like a 401k, which is a retirement account a corporation gives you, a 403b, a retirement account a nonprofit gives you, or 457, a retirement account that teachers, law enforcement, TSP, if you work for the government, that's what they give you. You put money inside the account and you don't pay taxes until 59 and a half, typically. That's when you take the money out. That's when you can take, that's when you pay the taxes. Or things like an annuity or things like an individual IRA, a traditional IRA. You put money in now, later down the line, you pay taxes. Later is typically 59 and a half. Now, these types of accounts have limitations on how much you can put in. And the one at the top of the bucket, they are issued through an entity, not an individual. And then you have tax never, which is self-explanatory. You never pay taxes with these accounts. But remember, anytime the IRS does not get their money, there's always a rule or a stipulation. So tax never accounts are things like life insurance, right? And life insurance that has cash value. I have cash value life insurance. They're all tax-free. Roth IRAs are tax-free. Now, remember I told you, there are rules and stipulations. So life insurance, you can't dump a bunch of money in life insurance, and you have to keep the policy in order to get the tax-free benefit. Roth IRA, there's a max on how much you can put in, and there's a max on how much you can make in order to have a Roth IRA. Excellent vehicles, but what matters is literally what you are having the account for and the investment that's in it, but what is it for and how is it solving and supporting you and guiding you? Okay. So take a second now and write in the chat where you don't. What bucket don't you have money? What bucket don't you have money? Comment in the chat where you don't, what bucket you don't have money in, if any at all. I see you. Okay, you have a Roth IRA. Comment in the chat. I want to see what buckets don't you have your money in. I think that's important. Okay. Some no tax net later. Okay, I have money in all of them. I love it. Okay, good. Now, the easiest way to buy a stock in an ETF, the most simplest way, where you can take the money out whenever you want to, right? So remember when I told you I got kicked out of my apartment and I had $30,000. I took it out of my brokerage account. There were no rules. My money was not locked up or anything. Now, these are the top companies that our members inside of our app, this is where they put their money. This is where, so they're putting their money with their brokerage accounts. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, E-Trade, and Vanguard. Okay? Now, I come from a Wall Street background. A lot of the new apps that exist did not exist in 2011 when I was investing. So I put my money where the big boys put it. I like 24/7 customer support. I like ease and feasibility with my accounts. Not that the newer apps are bad, but now the companies at the top of this screen, take a picture of this slide. I have my money with all of these companies. I have money in every single one of Vanguard, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, and Fidelity. Now, if you do not live in America, now we have members in our app that are literally in over 22 different countries. They're using Interactive Brokers, Passfolio, DeGiro, and Trading 212. Yes, you can buy stocks. Yes, you can buy ETFs, but the brokerage account you use makes a difference. Okay. Now, to buy a stock or an ETF, the easiest way where you can take your money out whenever you want. You can start with what you want. There is no limitations for how much you put in and when you touch it. The best way to do it is a brokerage account. No matter what country you live in, Interactive Brokers, Passfolio, DeGiro, Trading 212. We have members in the Caribbean, Canada, UK, Asia, Australia, Africa, everywhere. I'm seeing them all use Interactive Brokers. Once you have the account set up, then we're going to start talking about what you can put inside the account. Okay. Now, if you are new to investing, you don't need multiple accounts. Just get your first one. And as you build and you learn, you'll start to open additional accounts, but you don't need them, especially if this is your first time really doing something like this. All right. Now, if you have a child in your life, like I have for my niece has Charles Schwab. I love Charles Schwab because they have this really cool passive income manager. And so when I'm thinking about the passive income that my niece has, I'm able to see how much she's going to make this week, this month, this year, and what she's projected to make next year. When you open an account for a child, it's called a custodial UGMA or UPMA account. And it's where you are in charge of the account, but it's on the behalf of the minor. So the money is the minor's, but you are in charge of it. When the child turns 18, they can be in charge of it. Essentially, when you open the account, they don't have to be your child. You just have to be an adult over 18, and they have to be a minor. You need their name, their birthday, their social, their address, both your information and theirs. The account is in their name, but you're in charge of it. Okay? Number 2. So just to be clear, the best way to buy a stock or ETF with no rules, no stipulations, and you can start with $20. You can put as much money as you want in there, but you can also take it out when you want. A brokerage account. Okay? Now, so when you go to these companies' websites, you're literally opening an individual brokerage account. When you open a child account, it's just an UGMA or UPMA account, but it's just called a custodial account. Now, number 2. Now we know what account and how we need to buy this, right? Let's talk about the different types of stocks and ETFs that you can own and put inside that account, okay? So pay attention. First things first, when you buy a stock, you are buying a piece of a company. When you buy a piece of a company, look at it like a pizza pie. So the pie is the whole company. Each slice is called a share on Wall Street. So each share or each slice, the more you own, the more you buy, the more you own that company. Every slice has a price. The price goes up and down. But when you own a piece of a company, when you buy a stock, you are owning a piece of somebody's company. If you don't learn anything from me, I need you to remember this always. There's only 2 ways to build wealth in this country. You invest in your own idea, or you invest in somebody else's idea. That's it. You cannot work your way to wealth. You cannot save your way to wealth. No one retires with a savings account. They retire with investments. Okay? Now, when you buy a stock, I'm going to compare it to buying a house. It's a little bit simpler, but I want to show you just kind of the pass-through part. When you buy stock, you have money, you deposit it in your brokerage account. So your brokerage account is going to be connected to your checking account. You're going to transfer money from your checking to your brokerage. You're then going to go in and say, I want to buy a certain number of shares of a company. Remember the slices, the pieces of the company. In exchange for the money, you are going to get equity, ownership in that business. Same way you have cash and you buy a house. In exchange for the cash, you now own the asset. The asset is the stock, the ETF. The asset is the house. You own the asset. Now that asset you own can go up or down in value. So the price of your stock, the price of your ETF can go up or down, just like the house you live in. While you might not get your home appraised every day, the value does move all the time. It's an asset. It is not until you sell the asset, sell the stock, sell the house that you get the cash back. So remember when I told you I started investing in 2011? I had stock that I had owned for like 10 years and I never sold it. It went up and down, up and down. And by the time I sold it at a profit. But I held it for so long. It is possible that you can own a piece of a company and never sell it. Or you can buy a piece of a company, own stock in it, sell it, and use the money for something. The difference between buying a house though and a stock is you don't have to wait to buy the stock. like you have to buy a house. You don't have to wait for the seller to sell the stock. It happens literally in 5 seconds. But it's not until you sell that you get the money back. But as long as you own the asset can fluctuate in value. Now, there are 2 different types of stocks. The 2 major ones to keep it simple. A growth stock and a dividend stock. Pay attention here, because if you understand this, ETFs will make sense. I'm going to show you different types of ETFs. Now, a growth stock is where a company makes money, pays its bills, and then there's money left over. That company takes that money that's left over and they put it back into the business, literally back into the business, because they want the value of that company to go up. They want to make more money. So the more money they make, they're putting it back into the business so their business can grow faster. Now, these are the kind of stocks that have the ability to give you tons of upside. Growth stock is an example of a growing company is like my company, Empify. Now, we're not a stock you can buy on the market. However, when we make money, we put it back into the business so that we can make a bigger company. Okay? So these are your fast growing companies. Their job is to use all the money they have to put it back in the business to make the business grow bigger. Now, the opposite of that is a dividend stock. A dividend stock is a company that makes money, pays its bills. After it pays its bills, there's money left over. A dividend stock says, we are going to share that money with all of our investors. So everyone that owns stock in that company, they're going to get extra income for every share slice that they own. So a dividend stock are typically your more established businesses, the consistent businesses that are typically always profitable. They take some of their profits and they share it with you. So for every share you own, you're going to get paid extra income. You ever see me talk about how you can make passive income in the stock market? It's because you're owning companies that pay dividends. Literally, you don't have to work at the company, you have to do anything. They're going to take some of their profits and give it to you, the shareholder. And it's called a dividend. That money is going to get deposited in your brokerage account like clockwork every month or every quarter. Now, dividend stocks are typically more safer than growth stocks. But here's a downside. Dividend stocks are boring. The prices don't usually grow a lot. People buy them, they hold them, and they collect income. Repeat. And you can buy a dividend stock today and get paid for the rest of your life. As long as they pay out that dividend, you're able to get paid for the rest of your life. As long as they're making money and paying out dividends. This is how people retire. Dividends are how you ever know somebody that gets a pension? Someone that gets a check every month. It's coming from a dividend paying investment. Savings accounts don't pay out income like a dividend stock because they're not as predictable. Savings accounts fluctuate with the economy. The good dividend stocks don't never miss payments. The good dividend stocks increase your money every single year. Now, knowing that, if you had 100% of your money that you decided to invest, what percent would go into growth stocks? What percent would go into dividend stocks? Write it in the chat. Dividend stocks can grow fast, but they could drop fast. Growth stocks are like that. Dividend stocks don't grow as fast. They're more established, boring. Like dividend stocks are like Jay-Z's of the world. They've been around for a while. Great reputation, dependable, reliable. But a growth stock is like the fast growing companies. The fast growing rappers or musicians, they might be hot right now, but they might not be hot forever. They don't have a run like a Magic Johnson, or like pretty soon a LeBron James is going to be a dividend stock versus a growth stock will be like the number 1 draft pick. The number 1 draft pick is risky. They still learning the ropes. They still figured it out, but they got tremendous upside. LeBron James is pretty established. Like he's He's not about to just shoot up the charts. He's LeBron. So I'm seeing 60-40, 90-10, 40. Okay, I like it. Now, this is important because when you start to see people talk about investing on the internet or they're talking about different companies, just get clear on who you want to be. Some people are like, actually, I don't want dividend stocks. I hear you. And some people, I want that income. I like dependable. I don't like my stocks going crazy, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like SpaceX, that's a growth stock. They're going up, then they're dropping, going up. SpaceX is taking all their money and making that business bigger. They're not giving out dividends. They're not sharing profits. They're reinvesting profits. Okay? Now, here's an example of SpaceX. When SpaceX was $153, you see how it was up and then boom, it just dropped. That is a growth stock. That thing is going to go up. It's going to go down. SpaceX literally opened up ridiculously. I think it was 120 something, and it was 150 something, and it was 170 something. Who knows what it is now? It changes every single day. But this is the point that I'm making. These companies move fast. If you are older and you trying to retire and you get scared when the market goes up and down, baby, this might be a scary stock for you to buy, but it could give you crazy upside. And then you have a company like an Amazon. Now, Amazon is a growth stock. I feel like pretty soon Amazon might be a dividend stock. I don't know. They're heavily investing in AI right now. So instead of giving their investors a ton of money, they're heavily investing in AI. So but here's how you know if a company will pay you passive income. Look at the bottom of that chart. If the bottom of that chart has a percent at the bottom, that means you're going to get paid income. If it does not, so if you look at this chart, there is no percent. That means this company is not paying out dividends. You're not getting any cash flow. Your goal is to buy and sell at a higher price point. Okay? Now, 10 years ago, here's the crazy part about growth stocks. 10 years ago, you bought Microsoft, you'd have made over 600%. 10 years ago, you bought Amazon, you'd have made over almost 700%. 10 years ago, if you bought Netflix, you'd make over 1,000% because Netflix just recently had a stock split. This is the power. But if you notice, though, none of them flip your money tomorrow. There is no millionaire that I worked with on Wall Street that got rich quick. We are the only community that just thinks you're going to pay for a course, buy one stock, and you're just going to get rich overnight. Like, we're taught to believe the lottery system works. We're taught to think we have to work for the rest of our life. No, ladies and gentlemen. You know the reason these companies grew so fast? Let me ask you a question. Comment me in the chat if you have a Netflix account. Comment me in the chat if you have right now a Netflix account. Comment me in the chat. And I want everybody to take a second and just look at the chat. Do all of you know you are the reason this stock has grown over 1,000% in the past 10 years? Because you like to be entertained. I tell you this because, ladies and gentlemen, you can keep giving your money to these companies, but don't get mad and frustrated when you don't have money. Because what's happening is you're prioritizing them more than yourself. You're sitting here saying, I'm okay with spending all my money, but I'm afraid to invest it and own the companies I give my money to. We have no problem shopping on Amazon, but you're scared to buy Amazon stock? Do we all know that you have watched this company become $1 trillion business? Do we all know that it was just during the pandemic that Amazon crossed $100 billion in 90 days because of you? So I don't care what you learn from me. You cannot expect to grow financially if you think that the only way to create income is to have a job. is to have a business that you work in for the rest of your life. No. You see, I run a business, right? I make money a lot of ways. But every dime I'm making, half of that I'm investing. Why? Because I'm 37 years old. At some point, I'm not going to want to work in my business. At some point, I'm not going to want to work 100-hour weeks the way that I do. I'm down now, but 5 years from now, I might not. So what am I doing with the money that I'm making today? I get a paycheck I got paid today, I think. What am I doing with the money that I make? You know what I'm doing? I'm investing it. Why? Because I want to preserve it. I don't want to spend it all. I want to preserve it. But you train your mind to think, I'm making money, I'm behind, I don't have enough. I can't invest, I'm scared, it's a scam. You come up with all the reasons why you can't build wealth. Let's talk about the reasons why you can't. Let's talk about why you're sitting in this class and you're now in front of a woman that's been doing this for over 16 years and she's telling you you could start with $20. What's your excuse now? Oh, I'm scared to lose money. But you're not afraid to work for the rest of your life either? You're not afraid that you're giving all your money to Amazon? Think about what you do with your money. You pay your cell phone provider, you pay your car note, you pay your car insurance, you give money to your family, you give money to Amazon, you give money to Target, you give money to the gas company, you pay everybody. But the person in the mirror, you mean you work hard every day. You've been working so hard all of your life. And you mean to tell me the one person that matters the most isn't even worthy of getting your time? And then to make matters worse, you want to beat yourself up. Here's the thing. Nobody ever taught you this. How can you be behind when you were never given a start? How can you beat yourself up when you don't know any better? Where would you have learned this? You can't walk into a bank and get them to teach you this. You can't register your child for school and they're going to get educated. You can't go call your neighbors, talk to your family members because we don't know. But let me tell you something. This is your season to go all in on your future. This is your season to show up for you. Not Amazon, not Netflix, not Instagram, not YouTube. They made their money. They're just focusing on making more of it. And you're focusing on making more money, but what are you doing with the money you're making? Now, a dividend stock, remember I said they share the profit with you. Now, a dividend is just extra money a company gives you from their profits. You're going to get paid every month or every quarter. The moment you buy a dividend-paying company, you are going to get paid every month or every 90 days. The company decides how much you're going to make. They determine when you're going to get it, and they determine how much, how often, and when you're going to get it. It's all public information. I don't give you the money, but I promise you, you buy a dividend-paying company right now, within 90 days, some money will be deposited inside of your account, and you don't work for that money. That's what they do for their investors because they know their stock price isn't going to go up crazy like a SpaceX. They know it's not. They're too established. So they still want you to own their stock. They still want to make you happy. So they give you some extra money. That's how you can retire. Now, at the bottom of a stock chart, you're going to see a percent. You see how they says 7.7%? It's called the dividend yield. That is how much you are going to make for every share you own. The money's going to get deposited inside of your brokerage account. Now, here's an example of AT&T. AT&T pays out dividends. If you look at the bottom of AT&T's chart, they pay about 5%. So for every $20, $22, whatever AT&T is trading at, you're going to get 5% income on that money invested. Now, let me tell you this, because I'm setting expectations. I told you in the beginning, you're not getting rich quick with me. I told you in the beginning, you're not flipping your money. So I'm going to tell you right now, you buy AT&T stock, you're not about to make thousands of dollars. You think that if you invest $22, you're going to just be rich because they pay you income? That's not how the game goes. That's not how it doesn't work like that in real estate. You can buy one property You might make $1,000 a month, but that's all you're going to make. You have to buy another property and invest more money to get a better return, to make more income. Same thing works with stocks. The only difference is this stock is $22. You buy this stock, within 90 days, you are going to get income. Within 365 days, they're going to pay out 5% in income to you. But I'm going to tell you now, it's going to require you to build. It's going to require you to show up for you and pay you consistently. If you have enough to pay your bills, if you have enough to pay you to go buy something, if you have enough to go pay Amazon, you have enough to take care of you. You got to start somewhere, right? Comment right in the chat. We have to start somewhere. All I'm saying is you don't need $20,000 to come to a class that Ashley Fox is teaching. You can start with 20 and build your way there. Because I know if I found $20 on the ground, I will gladly pick it up. So don't treat your money like it's not a lot. Treat it like it's something that you can start with. Don't all of you wish you took this class 20 years ago? I'm here because I want to make sure you're in control of the next 20 years of your life. Now, number 3. Now, all right, so we're going into ETFs. Do we all understand the difference between growth and dividend? One's more boring. One goes up and down. There's a little bit more risk. One gives you income. One does not. Okay? Now, let's talk ETFs. Now, an ETF, I'm going to break it down in a simple way. Forget the Wall Street definition. An ETF is a fund where you can own a bundle of stocks, but for one price. You got me, Maria? You got me, Casey? Now, it's where someone says, I'm going to bundle a bunch of stocks together based off of a different type or an industry, and then we're going to bundle it and you can buy it for one price. Now, you buy an ETF on the stock market, so you're going to use your brokerage account. So instead of you picking all the different stocks, you can buy an ETF, an exchange traded fund, and you could own a bunch of companies for one price. Okay? Here's a visual example. You see this basket, this bucket right here? You see how those different company logos? You can buy those companies individually, or you can buy an ETF and own them collectively. So it's a specific mix of companies that fund manager believes will work well together. Okay? Now, let's dig deeper. Let's go deeper. Here are key things you want to consider with ETFs. ETFs trade like stocks. So you can buy a fast-growing ETF. You can buy a dividend ETF. You can buy a tech ETF, a real estate ETF. I'm going to show you a real estate ETF that you can invest in that'll pay you consistent income. Now, some ETFs will pay you dividends. So if the ETFs hold, this is a great question. I'll answer that in a second. If the ETF can hold a bunch of stocks that pay dividends, which means you're still going to get paid consistent income. Now, is the ETF better than the individual? That's like asking, is basketball better than football? Right now, which one is better, basketball or football? Everybody comment in the chat. Basketball, football, or baseball? Or soccer? What is the best sport? Everyone write down in the chat. What is the best sport that exists? Everybody write it in the chat. Is basketball better? Is football better? Is soccer better? Is football better? I want everybody to look at the chat. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. No, you can't say all of them. You got to pick one. Look at the chat. Do you see everyone's response? Who's right and who's wrong? Right? Who's right and who's wrong? I say that because it's based on your opinion. What works for you? Same thing is with ETFs and individual stocks. I know some people that love ETFs. I know some people that love individual stocks. I know some people that love REITs. Who's right and who's wrong is based off of what works for you. And by the way, if you ask me, the best sport out there is tennis. Tennis. But that's my opinion. That's what I want for Ashley. That's what I like. So your job is to decide, do you like ETFs? Do you like individual stocks? Is it possible to like both basketball and tennis? You can have both. It's up to you. Why? You don't have to choose this or that. You can have this and that. So I can't tell you which is better. My job is to say, look, there's a buffet of food and it tastes good and you deserve a seat at the table. That's why I'm here. You can also buy industry ETFs. I'm going to show you guys an AI ETF with a bunch of companies that are investing in AI or are AI-focused companies. Now, number 4, before you buy a stock or ETF, consider the companies you give your money to. So now let's decide the type of ETF or stock you're going to buy, the type. Now, I want everybody right now to make a list. Feel free to write it in the chat, write it in the chat or on your notebook. What companies did you use this morning? What companies make money off of you? What companies did you give your money to? What companies exist because of you? What companies are essential that you cannot live without? What companies do you utilize for entertainment? What companies that if they really evolved in the future could really take off? What companies do you use? The best way to decide what to buy is to not go look at what somebody on the internet's talking about. That's the easiest way to lose your money. I'm going to tell you, I don't care how smart that person is. I don't care how uneducated you are. The best way to buy a stock is to understand it yourself. Remember, a stock is a business. An ETF is just a bundle of businesses under a fund that you can buy for one price. So let me walk you through my morning today. The first thing I do every morning when I wake up is I pick up my iPhone because my alarm goes off. I pick up the phone and I scroll through my phone. My phone is Apple. The first company I interact with is Apple. I then go to my company email, which is Google. I then go on Instagram, which is Meta. I walk to the bathroom. I use Charmin toilet paper. That's Procter & Gamble. Sorry. I brush my teeth and wash my hands. I'm using Crest toothpaste. That is also Procter & Gamble. I go to the back. I put on my Nike workout outfit and or my Nike sneakers. I walk to the kitchen and I get a protein shake. I drink Life water. It's right here. This water is owned by Pepsi. I get raw protein that I bought from Amazon. Mix it in my water, make a protein shake. I go to the gym. Today I worked out with my trainer. And then I did 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. And I literally watch Law and Order every morning on the Stairmaster or the treadmill. Law and Order I'm watching on Hulu. Hulu's owned by Disney. I then go home. I take a shower. I use Dove soap. That's Unilever. The first 90 minutes of my life every day, I can't live without these companies. So before you go and try to buy that next stock, how about we take inventory of the companies you give your money to every day? Do you know that Apple's $1 trillion business? Google is $1 trillion business. Meta is $1 trillion business. Amazon's $1 trillion business. Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, and Unilever are billion-dollar businesses. Why? Because Ashley Fox works out every day. Ashley Fox refuses to get an Android. No offense to my Android users. But guess what Ashley Fox also does? She also owns stock in these companies. Guess what Ashley Fox's niece does? Oh, she owns stock in these companies too. I don't need to go search high and low to go research a stock. I can start researching with the companies I use every day. Why not? Now, when it comes to ETF, consider ETFs for income. Here's an example. The Schwab US Dividend ETF. Now, pay attention to this. This is important. This ETF is around $30, but here's how you determine what's inside the ETF. Write this down. There's something called a fact sheet, FACT. When you Google the ETF, Google the ETF name and a fact sheet. On Google, a PDF will pop up. A fact sheet is the overall summary that comes out every quarter or every month, depending on the company. And it shows you a breakdown of what's inside the ETF. So typically on the last page, second to last page, these are the top 10 holdings. Remember I said this is an income ETF. You see, it's the U.S. dividend equity. So these are U.S. companies that pay dividends. Chevron, Merck, Verizon, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Procter and Gamble. These are, look, ConocoPhillips. All these companies pay dividends. I could buy each of these companies individually, or if I'm just looking to make some income, let me just buy an ETF that I can invest in and buy them collectively. The ETF is around $30 a share, and you're going to get paid income every 90 days. Why? Because the stocks inside the ETF pay dividends. Now, what if we invest in ETFs for future growth, right? We're not looking for just income. We're looking for that price to go up. We're looking for some fast growing companies. Here's an AI ETF. An AI ETF. This ETF is around 60, 70, depending on the time of day. The Global X Artificial Intelligence Technology ETF. I don't care what you think about AI, it's changing the world. You should be using AI all the time to help you make money, to help make your life more efficient. Because I'm going to tell you now, companies are investing billions of dollars in AI. So here's how this ETF works. These are companies that are heavily invested in AI, meaning they're taking their money and investing in AI. These are companies that could benefit tremendously from AI, or they're actual AI companies. If you notice on here, so this is the fact sheet. Netflix is there. Apple is there. Meta is there. Nvidia is there. You can buy each of these companies collectively, or you can buy an ETF that is what? $60, $70 a share. Yeah, it's like $65 a share. And you can own all these companies collectively. Does this make sense? Now, I'm not saying you have to buy this ETF, but there are some fast growing ETFs because there are fast growing companies inside the ETF. Now, you could pick. So I'm the type of person, I like to buy what's in the ETF. I'll go buy them individually and I'll buy the ETF. You could do both. It's up to you. Now, here's another type of ETF. What if we use an ETF for everyday use, right? ETFs that have companies you use every day. Back to the ETF we talked about in the beginning of the class. Look at the fact sheet. Nvidia, one of the biggest and best AI companies in the world. Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix, Broadcom. 62% of this ETF and all the money in it is invested in these top 10 companies. You can buy them individually or you can own them collectively. So an ETF allows you to collectively diversify your money versus buying individual companies. Yes, great question. So Ricardo says, so you can Google the fact sheet for a particular ETF and it shows you what companies they hold. Yep. You can go to their website too, but this is a fast way. I always look at an ETF fact sheet. It'll tell you how it's performed. It'll tell you who runs it. It'll tell you their strategy. It'll tell you what's inside of it. It literally gives you a snapshot of what's going on. A snapshot. Now, here are things you need to know when you're getting your ETFs. Always know the holdings. Always. Don't you dare buy an ETF without knowing what's inside. Check and see if they pay dividends. There's an expense ratio. So there's a fee for an ETF because remember, someone's picking these stocks for you. Now, they're not managing it every single day like a mutual fund because mutual funds are expensive. But probably once a year, twice a year, there's a small fee, which is fine. It's normal. But get this. You want the fee to be under 0.75%. The good ones, the best ETFs are 0.45 and under for their fee. Michelle, you find the fact sheet on Google. You can just Google the ETF name. I'm going to show you an even better way. Take a picture of this slide right here. So first, what you want to do, you can go to ETF.com or ETFDB, D as in dog.com. You can see every ETF that exists, all of them. But you can start to search dividend ETFs, AI ETF, tech ETFs. When you get the name of the ETF, then you can go Google it and download the fact sheet. ETFs have websites too, but fact sheets are just simple. Websites can be a little long, but fact sheets tell you so much. It's literally 2 to 4 pages, breaks it all down. I'm going to take a second. Is this making sense to you guys? I want to make sure I'm giving it to you right, that it's simple enough. Are you connecting the dots? Are you seeing how you can buy an individual stock? You can buy an ETF. You can buy a stock that pays a dividend. You can buy an ETF that pays a dividend. You can buy a fast-growing ETF. You can buy a fast-growing stock. It doesn't matter what you choose. I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm here to tell you better buy something, because saving is not going to get you anywhere. Rates are going down. Having a job can only get you so far. Getting a second job can only get you so far. Because if all you're doing is making money, spending money, making money, spending money, I promise you, you will look up and have nothing. I promise you, you will look up and feel empty. I promise you, you will look up and you're in retirement and you're looking at yourself. What did I do with all the money I made from my previous jobs? Okay? This is Sandy. Now, I'm showing you Sandy because I was just with Sandy and we had a big event a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta. Sandy's 68. Sandy came to one of my classes about 2-3 years ago. And she thought, if you look at the top, she thought retirement was about selling her house and scaling back. She felt like downsizing was the only realistic way her money could stretch. She came to our summit. Sandy graduated our Wealth Builders Academy. She graduated our Stocks 101 bootcamp, our passive. Sandy is actually a mentor in our app. Sandy is actually who you talk to when you need help. Sandy is actually someone who actively invests. But I show you Sandy because she said what surprised her the most wasn't the number in her account, but the change in how she thought about herself. She said, I went from asking, am I too late, to realizing it is never too late. The first dividend check I received confirmed it, that my money could grow and so could my confidence. She says, thank you, Empify. This is why Empify is here. The wealth gap is getting wider, ladies and gentlemen. Social Security isn't enough. She said she once thought retirement was about settling down. Now she knows it's about stepping up and building the life and freedom to live it fully. She's 68. I don't know if there's anybody over 50 in here, anybody in their 60s, 70s, but if this woman is 68 and actively investing and actually believes she doesn't have to scale back for retirement, you can't tell me you can't do this. You can't tell me it's not possible. This woman is mentoring people in our app, and she found me online. She's teaching people how to invest, and guess who taught her how to invest? She's not afraid. She's running. What if Sandy lives another 30 years? You think she has time to complain about her age? You think she has time to be overwhelmed? Or do you think she needs to get on the ball and start making some more money and investing so that the next 30 years of her life doesn't have to be like the past 30 years of her life? You are here because you're not behind. You're right on time. But the question is, what are you going to do with this time? Now, number 5. One of my favorite investments, if you ever see me on the internet or come to even, I've taught a class on REITs in the past. REITs are one of my favorite investments. Why? Because it's a way for you to get into real estate. So I don't own properties direct. All the money I make goes back to Empify because I want to make Empify bigger. But one day I will buy property. And REITs are a way for the everyday person to get into real estate and make passive income. But they don't touch your property. And so I want to talk to you about how real estate can be also in an ETF. And it can also give you passive income. Now, here's how a REIT works. A REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, right? You buy a REIT in your brokerage account. You could buy it. You could sell it. So now a property will take time for you to buy or sell it. You can buy or sell a REIT in 2 seconds, literally. You buy a REIT in your brokerage account. Now, a REIT is a real estate company that owns and operates commercial real estate. That literally owns and operates commercial real estate, income producing real estate. So one thing you need to know is when you buy a REIT or you're investing in this REIT ETF, you're not buying single family homes. You're buying commercial real estate. So what happens is that REIT buys the properties, they manage them and they put tenants in them. The tenants pay the rental income, right? And they pay the rental income, the REIT collects it, it pays its bills. Now, the money that's left over from the REIT, 90%, everybody type in 90% because I don't want you to ever forget this. This is what makes a REIT so powerful. 90% of the REIT's income must be paid out in dividends to all their investors. So why though? Because it's the law. So imagine you're going to buy a REIT today. Within 90 days, you're going to get paid because it's the law. They have to pay you. That money that you make, now for every share you own, the more shares you own, the more income you get. But for every share you own, you are going to get income. That money's going to get deposited in your brokerage account. But get this, you don't touch the property. You don't touch the tenant. You don't manage anything. You just manage that brokerage account. And the more shares you buy, the more income you get. There's a REIT that I own that paid me 20% in income. And I get paid every single month. Now, take a picture to the side. These are the different types of REITs that exist. Office REITs, industrial REITs. You know that Amazon's warehouses, a lot of them are owned by REITs. Prologis. Every time I go to Paris, I see a Prologis building. They own a bunch of industrial properties all over the world. Hotels are REITs. You know when you go to the grocery store, go check and see who owns a shopping center. Shopping centers are owned by REITs. A property can only be owned by a person, a company, or a REIT. If it is owned by a REIT, real estate investment trust, you can own it and can collect income. Hospitals are REITs. Senior homes. Anybody ever heard of self-storage, public storage, or CubeSmart? Storage units are REITs too. Data centers. You ever wonder where your data is stored from your phone? Data centers. There's a REIT called Digital Realty. Stores all the data. Billboards are REITs. Apartment buildings are REITs. Hotels. Our old Empify office a couple years ago was at a REIT. If you live in a major city, even if you live in a major city, I bet you there's a REIT in your city. You look at your skyline, a lot of those buildings are owned by REITs. You just don't know it. But you don't have to build the property. You can own the REIT that manages it, that builds it, and the REIT will pay you passive income. Anybody ever been to Las Vegas? Do you know that the Mandalay Bay, the Luxor Hotel, the MGM, the Venetian Hotel, so many Caesars are owned by the REIT called Vici. So think about it. Let's say you go to the Venetian. You go to the Venetian, you pay to stay at the hotel, Vici collects that money. You go downstairs at the restaurant in the Venetian. That restaurant pays rent to the hotel. Vici collects that money. You go shopping at the stores in the hotel. The REIT collects that money. It collects all the money from all their properties and then pays its bills, and then they pay you. Now, someone just said, how do I find out if it's a property is a REIT? You got to Google it. If you Google the property and it says real estate investment trust, it's owned by a REIT. But here's something else you can do. You can also go to REIT.com. You can see all the REITs that exist. You're not going to be able to see all the properties, but if you go to the REIT's website, they will, like if you go to Vici's website right now, it'll show you all their tenants. Prologis, it'll show you all their tenants and where they have all their properties. Anybody ever been to Topgolf? Comment Topgolf in the chat if you've been to Topgolf. Topgolf pays rent to a REIT called EPR, a REIT that pays every month. Realty Income, one of the best REITs that exists. They own 15,000 properties. I don't care how rich I get. I'm not buying 15,000 properties, but I will buy a REIT that pays me every single month, that manages and owns and operates 15,000 properties. So you can buy REITs individually. Here's Realty Income. They pay out a dividend of a little over 5%, $62 a share, somewhere around there, give or take a few. But now think about this. You might not want to pick the REITs. But what if there were a bunch of REITs for one price? You can own a REIT ETF, the Schwab US REIT ETF. That REIT is less than $20, $25 a share. Literally. So instead of buying imagine not having to buy a property, but buying a REIT that's like $25 and getting paid income every 90 days. Now, I'm not saying not to go buy a property. I'm not saying that. You can go buy the REIT individually, or you got a REIT ETF. Like ETFs are good for people who don't want to research the stocks. Like they don't want to pick them individually. They don't want to know how much should I put in this one or that one. Some people just like ETFs and they just park their money in there and let it evolve over time. Here's the Schwab US REIT ETF fact sheet. Prologis, Digital Realty. Look at that. Public Storage, Simon Property. Simon Property Group is the #1 mall operator in America. The Galleria in Houston. Lennox and Phipps in Atlanta. Literally. Realty Income is on there. Equinix, Well Tower. You know that cell towers and senior homes are REITs? Great question. Yasmin just asked a great question. So is the percentage yield on a REIT is determined by the stocks or REITs inside of the ETF. So remember this, anytime you buy something that pays a dividend, you're going to make anywhere between 4 to 17% in income. That you're just going to, it's going to literally going to get deposited in your account, 4 to 17%. It varies based off of the company. Your sweet spot is going to be between 4 to 7%. 4 to 7%. So this one isn't paying a dividend because it doesn't have a percentage. No, it is paying a dividend. So no. So when ETFs are not going to put the dividend yield because there's so many different companies inside. The individual stocks and the individual REITs will have a percent. ETFs, no. You're going to see the dividend yield in the fact sheet. Great question. Now, remember, you can go to REIT.com to see all the REITs. Now, this is Jacinda. Jacinda makes $900 in passive income right now. She owns 2 REITs, G&L and Realty Income. If you look at the bottom, her biggest win is developing a plan to continue investing in more REITs this year and forever. She didn't start with a lot of money, but every time she invests, she's producing more income. Imagine every time you use your money, it's going to pay you more money back. It's going to pay you money. You know, every time you set money aside, you're going to make income. Anywhere between 4 to 7%, 17%. Every time you buy your REIT, you're going to get access to income. Every time. No. See, someone says talk about penny stocks. No, I'm not sure if you came to this class in the beginning. Penny stocks, I'm not here to get you rich quick. I don't buy penny stocks. Penny stocks are risky. And if you are brand new to investing, that's the easiest way to lose your money. So unfortunately, you might not have been here in the beginning. I'm not here to get you rich quick. I'm not about to sit here and talk about these little teeny old companies that you can flip your money with, but you can also lose all your money with. So I'm not talking about penny stocks. And I just so happen to see your comment. This is no offense to you. I am not the teacher that's going to get you rich quick. I'm not the girl on the internet that's going to tell you how to flip your money. I come from Wall Street. If I didn't see it on Wall Street, I never saw it happen. If I didn't see a billionaire doing it, I'm not doing it. So a lot of stuff you might think or do, again, you can trade. I know a lot of people make a lot of money with trading, but I never met a billionaire that traded that made billions, that trade like I did not, that made sure their family was set for the rest of their life buying penny stocks. I'm trying to make sure that when you start investing, that if you are no longer here, your kids are set for the rest of your life. You see, being rich is having a lot of money right now. I'm here to make you wealthy. I'm talking about generation after generation. I'm not just thinking about today. I'm focused on your forever. I'm making sure you don't ever have to come back to this class 5 years from now because you don't know how to do this, or you got to come back and figure out what to do with your money. I'm not that teacher. I come from Wall Street. I didn't read this in a book. I don't even read finance books because I hate them. I think they're boring. I'm here to make sure you never run out of money. I'm here to make sure you buy solid companies. I'm here to make sure you're not just having money today because you had a trade. I'm here to make sure you're set for the rest of your life, you and your children. Now, here are things you want to know. You got to understand how this game is played, baby. You can't look at number 2. I forgot this slide was in here. Avoid this get rich quick. Tell me a billionaire you know that got rich quick. Tell me somebody of status that is sustainable, that has wealth generation, that did it quickly. Tell me, because I'll gladly go find them. But I've been around some of the richest people in the world, and forget being around them. I was in their bank account. I'm teaching you what I saw them do, because I know you might not ever make it to the 27th floor over there on Park Avenue like I did at JP Morgan. But I'm going to tell you this. No emotions allowed. Get out your feelings. There's no feelings in this game of wealth. I don't care who you don't like. You don't have to like the CEO, but I'm going to tell you now, wealth doesn't have a color. You think these CEOs care about you? They don't care about anybody but the bottom line. Because the last time I checked, no president has ever come to save you. Black, white, pink, purple, whoever. Nobody made you debt free. Nobody put your kids through college. The only person coming to save you is the person in the mirror. So until you start recognizing the person in the mirror is worthy of this information, is worthy of stretching themselves and becoming more and doing more. And when you stop thinking everyone's out to get you and you start trusting the new version of you, you will start to see different results. But if you don't grow, your bank account won't grow. So the question is, are you ready to grow? And when I say grow, I mean brick by brick. You can't build a mansion unless you lay the first brick. And the brick doesn't cost a lot, but a mansion does. But it's comprised of a whole lot of bricks that someone laid. They didn't do it overnight, but they got there. A whole lot of $20 can get you to $1 million, but you have to start. This is your time to show up for you. Now, you don't need a lot of money to build a portfolio. You don't need an expert. You don't got to know everything about the stock market. You don't need a credit score to get a tenant or to make passive income. You don't. Let's get that brokerage account open. Let's make sure we master the different types that we can get access to. Let's make sure we master ETFs. Make sure we can start considering companies to invest in that we give our money to before you go try to buy a penny stock. I bet you nobody in this class gives their money to a penny stock. You probably don't even know what the company does for a living. But also, if you're thinking about real estate, you want consistent income. REITs by law have to pay you income. These are just options, ladies and gentlemen. These are just options. I'm not here to tell you to buy ETFs, but I need to tell you that there are ETFs that are $20, $25, $30, $40 that I know you can afford, that will pay you income, that have companies inside of them that you know already, that you give your money to already. Think about it. The stock market exists because of you, Lisa, because of you, Donna, because of you, Michael. A stock price can't grow if the revenue's not growing, and the revenue grows because you give them the money. And the ETF can't grow if the stocks inside of it doesn't grow. So at the end of the day, you are the number one player on the court. Act like it. Stop acting like you don't deserve to play this game. Stop acting like you don't belong here. You are the table. You are. You think Jeff Bezos became one of the richest men in the world on his own? I played a part in it. You played a part in it. We all did. You think Apple is a multi-trillion-dollar business because we're not addicted to our cell phones? You think Zuckerberg is rich because he just was raised in money? No. It's because I use Instagram. It's because I use Facebook. I like it. I use it for business. Don't be ashamed of it. Just get money with it. I don't know any of these guys. I don't have to like them. I don't have to care. But if they can help put my niece through college, you best believe I'm going to follow the blueprint. Follow the blueprint and get out your feelings. That check-in time, was this helpful? Those of you that have been rocking with me since the beginning, did I give you what I promised you? Did I make sure that I delivered on exactly what I told you you would get from this class? I want to make sure, because so many people ask me about my class and what you learn. I want to make sure, did I give you what I promised you? I want to make sure, because I pride myself in making sure that I give you everything that I promise you. That is important. Now, some of you, you're good. You're ready to take action. Some of you have questions, and I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. Some of you have more questions that I did not get to. Some of you want to go deeper. Some of you want to make sure you get this done. You want to build your portfolio. You want to master ETFs. I told you I wasn't going to talk over you. I told you that I was going to give you everything I've got during our time together. But I'm talking to the person that is ready to execute, that is ready to go to the next level. But here is the catch. I'm not trying to teach this to you and guide you for the next year. I want to get this done in 45 days. 45 days, a couple hours a week to be able to push you to get your portfolio open, to be able to get you to knock out these dividends so we can start collecting income, where we can build a strategy together, where I can monitor your progress and hold you accountable, where if you need help, there are people like Sandy that can support you. But we can start to decide, what ETFs do you buy? How are we reading these fact sheets? How are we knowing what to buy, when to buy, how to buy it? How are we getting our accounts open? But here's the catch. 45 days. I'm trying to sprint. We are not taking a whole year and the rest of 2026 to buy a stock in an ETF. I want to go bigger. Everybody comment bigger. Now, here's how we're going to do this. Do I have your permission to talk about how we can go further? If you don't want me to, I promise to give you what I give. I'm talking to the people who want more, who have more questions, who need to be able to come up in a Zoom session and start asking questions and really execute and have step-by-step structure. Because I'm the type of person, I get really overwhelmed with a whole lot of stuff. I need structure and organization. Do I have your permission? I'm talking to those. Okay. I'm seeing yes in the chat. Here's how we're going to do this. Inside of our app as an annual member, right? So we're going to knock this out in 45 days. But I want to take this further with you. I want to master passive income. I want to master growth stock. I saw we had quite a few people over 50. I want you to master retirement. So we are going to be with each other for 365 days because I got a lot to give you. But to take care of the basic stocks and ETFs, we're going to do that inside of our Stocks 101 Bootcamp. Straight for beginners, straight step by step. We're going to get the account open and or show you how to work the account if you already have the account. Now, let me break it down because there's 3 core things I want you to do, but we're going to start with this one. We are going to make sure you have the in-depth information you need about stocks and ETFs, how we can build that growth portfolio. I'm going to be able to give you the guidance to help you pick the investments, how you can research, how you can manage your income, how you can access the right tools to build your strategy, not my strategy, your strategy, okay? Now, within the next 45 days as an annual member, you're going to have a week-by-week breakdown. You will make your first stock investment. And if you've bought investments before, you're going to know what you're doing this time. You buy a dividend-paying investment, you can expect your first dividend in 90 days. You are going to have clarity around what to invest and how to create wealth. While we're doing that, I want you to be a part of our chapters where we have chapters all over the country. This is a picture of our Georgia chapter. Chapters are having events. So not only are you learning, you're learning with people like you. You're learning alongside people who've been in this app for 5 years. And I think that's important. Now, here's your blueprint, Stocks 101, Passive Income Bootcamp, Growth Stocks Bootcamp. This is our second half of 2026 blueprint. 45 days, Stocks 101. Everybody comment 45 days. That's the first step. I don't want you to worry about anything else. Then we're going to talk passive income. Then we're going to do growth stocks. But in Stocks 101, you're going to get the ETFs and the stock information you need to get started. It goes deeper than this class. But you can also move at your own pace. So you don't have to come at a certain time. You're going to move at your own pace. Now, to get this done, you need 3 hours a week, talking less than 2% of your life, so that you can come out with clarity, so that you can have financial confidence, so you're not afraid anymore. You can start to know what investments can help you get closer to the passive income goal you have, closer to retirement. Does that make sense? Now, here's how we're going to do it. There's a step-by-step 6-step course in the app, right? Stocks 101, getting the accounts open, understanding and mastering the stock market, how to research, how to analyze. By step 6, you will become an investor. You will come out as an investor. You will know what you bought, why you bought it, and how to process that transaction and work your account without a doubt. Then you're going to take the passive income bootcamp. Once you got the basics, now we're going to dig into passive income, straight passive income. So how are we evaluating the passive income, that 4 to 17%? How are we managing? We have a dividend calculator, so you don't have to do the math. I'm not a math person. I'm good at it, but I'm not a math person when it comes to my money. So you want to have that step by step. After that, now remember, we're talking the rest of 2026. I need the fast growing stocks in your portfolio. I need the dividend paying investments in your portfolio. And I need you to make sure you can decide if you want ETFs. This is the game plan for the rest of 2026. We are locked in together where you're not just with me, you're surrounded by like-minded people, because I don't know about you. I need an environment that's going to level me up. I don't know about my family, my friends, the internet. Sometimes that energy is draining. You need to be around something that can put fire in your heart and remind you of who you are whenever you forget. Now, literally, there's thousands of people in our app. So there are sessions happening all the time, live and pre-recorded. Those of you who are over 50, when you get in, I want you in our golden society. That's the 50 and older group. If you're not 50 or older, you can't get in. But this is where they're talking about retirement. This is where we're having discussions. This is where we're bringing in retirement experts, estate planners, advisors to help you build and understand what you have. Now, in addition, here's how else we're going to do it. I'm the type of person that raises my hand a lot, and I like to come up and talk to the teacher, right? I have questions. We have 24/7 member support, 24/7. There's also live and pre-recorded sessions. So there are bi-weekly office hours that take place where you can have Q&As. I'm doing deep dives into my portfolio. And just in case you miss a live session, it is uploaded into your account. Okay? Everything lives there. We will be together for 365 days. We will be locking in. You will be grown. By the time you get done these boot camps, you will not be a beginner. So if you are afraid, that's fine. You will come out with confidence. If you don't have any accounts open at all, that's fine. We're going to make sure you get them open. If you are unsure of what direction to take during retirement, we're going to make sure you're clear on your options based off of the investments that you're learning about. Now, this is Deborah. Deborah said the community opened her eyes on how I can build wealth and have a winning mindset. Before WB, I had so many misconceptions regarding the stock market. Too risky. It's only for the wealthy people. But she said since she's been a member, she always pays herself each month and she invests. I'm educated enough to invest in companies that meet my long-term goals. And I'm not afraid to invest when the prices drop. We are training you as the market drops. We're showing you what to do so you're not scared. We go into recession. We're preparing you so you're ready. Okay? Now, listen, if you're here, it's not an accident. Comment, I'm ready in the chat. You are determined to build wealth. You said this was your year you were going to change. You're ready to grow. But now you believe it's a good time to learn about the stock market, to start small with what you have, to create extra income, to grow your wealth in this year. But now you're ready. Now you're ready. But now you have somebody. How I teach right now is how I run this app. I just want you to know. I'm probably even crazier in the app because I'm going deep in the app with you guys. But here's what you're getting. We talked about 3 boot camps. I only want you to focus on 3. With your membership, as an annual member, there's over 10 different boot camps you have access to. I only want you to do 3. But there's an options one, the retirement one, the parent investing, life insurance, estate planning. Every part of your money that you want to learn about is in the app. It is yours to use. I want you to start with this Wealth Builder Blueprint Foundation that I'm giving you. Passive Income, Growth Stocks, and Stocks 101. You have access to all the chapters, all the private groups, the live sessions, the pre-recorded sessions. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This entire app and everything I give you is valued at over $28,000. I'm going to tell you now, I charge $10,000 to talk. I'm in that app with you every day. I just hosted a session last week. I'm hosting another one next week. I'm always there, giving you what you need, bringing you up to ask questions, picking up the phone to call you if I see you slacking. Companies are paying us 6 figures to get access to this information. Because outside of Empify, you might be able to learn about stocks on YouTube, but not about dividend stocks, growth stocks, retirement, and life insurance, and estate planning. My experience comes from Wall Street. I wasn't a trader. I worked in asset management. So when you had $25 million on Wall Street, ladies and gentlemen, they had an entire ecosystem set up to support you. So there are resources available to you that you can utilize at your disposal when you want to. My priority is this year, dividend investments, Stocks 101, and those fast-growing companies. To get access inside of our app as an annual member for this cohort, this will change. And the whole app, you have access to it for $6.99 for the entire year. Go to empify.link/stocks101 to get in the app. And as an annual member, you have access to all boot camps. As an annual member, you are invited to a session we are about to have to help you plan out your Q3 strategy from an investing standpoint to help you get your passive income goal, to give you structure in your spending plan and the budget you are going to build. Only annual members get access to this exclusive training. Now, what I want to do is I want to give away $300 to one person who gets in as an annual member right now. That one person that says, I am ready. I am tired of waiting. I am tired of feeling behind. I am tired of feeling like I'm too old. I'm ready to level up. I am going to pick one person who gets inside of the app as an annual member. Annual members get access to everything. Annual members is the premium seat inside of this platform. When I'm the type of person, when I'm going somewhere, when I'm traveling somewhere, when I'm eating somewhere, I want the best. Annual members get access to everything. Exclusive invites. First session that's about to happen is our quarterly planning annual workshop that all annual members get access to. Go to empify.link/stocks101. The team is going to pick one person who gets in as an annual member, and I'm giving away $300 to fund your portfolio. $300 to fund your portfolio. Those of you who are brand new, the first thing you're going to see when you hit that app is the brokerage account jumpstart. We are going to make sure within the next 72 hours, you get that account open. You're going to watch their short trainings to get your account open, and I'm going to walk you through how to use the accounts. Go to empify.link/stocks101. Annual members, what's going to happen when you join? You're going to get a confirmation email. We're going to give you the top stocks under $100. So while you're taking Stocks 101 and you're learning how to invest, this guide are the top stocks you can start researching that are under $100. Okay? You're also going to we release this guide once a year. Everybody pays for this. Annual members don't. The top stocks to consider in 2026. Now, with this, there's a session I did where I told you the stocks that I buy. Go to empify.link/stocks101. Comment, I'm in if you are in. The top stocks I own session, the stocks, the REITs, and ETFs that I own. There's going to be 2 guides I'm going to give you as well. How to buy your first ETF in 7 days. I am talking about moving with speed. I'm talking to the action takers that are ready to change their life, that are ready to build, that are ready to grow. I'm not talking to the person that wants to procrastinate. I'm talking to the person who no longer wants to procrastinate. I'm talking to the person who wants to evolve. I'm talking to the person who is over 50 that says, I have to retire because I'm not working for the rest of my life. You're also going to get the top stocks, how to buy your first dividend stock in 7 days. Now, this is Chantel. She sent us literally an email she sent us. Chantel has taken every single boot camp. but she hasn't been in the app. She literally says, I want you to know I haven't been in the app, but I'm locked in and implementing everything you taught me. This woman made almost $6,000 in 6 months after she's taken the boot camps. Go to empify.link/stocks101 to get access for the entire year. You have access to every boot camp, every private group for $6.99. Now, this is for this cohort. When we have to shut down this cohort and we reach capacity, I see Alana Sharp is inside of the app. Congrats to Alana. The price could change and the bonuses will not be available. So this is a snapshot of everything that you get. Empify.link/stocks101. Comment I'm in if you are in. Empify. Now remember, here are the rules though. I'm going to pick one person who gets inside of the WB app as an annual member, and I'm giving away $300. How many of you can use an extra $300 to invest? I see Miss Hickman is inside. Comment I'm in. Comment I'm working on it if you are working on getting in. Now, here's I want to show you, because again, I'm all about showing you real people. I'm good at this, but I want to show you people who are actually investing, who are actually graduates. I want to show you individuals who are building, who are evolving. I want look, just here are some. So I forgot to tell you this. When you finish, we celebrate you. There's a graduation, we send you a gift, we send you a certificate. But I want to show you individuals who are investing, members in this app that you guys are going to be able to get to meet.
All I needed was the knowledge, and this program has provided me the knowledge that I need. I needed someone to teach me, and this program have actually provided me the basic skills and knowledge that I need to move forward. So thank you guys.
So I'm just excited. This has been the best change that I have had in years, because it gave me something that I could do to change my finance. I was tired of, seeing things fall apart.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks to Miss Ashley, because I really did take a chance, because you never know who you inspire. You never know who you encourage.
It's a wonderful opportunity. I've been sharing it with my family. I even set my son up. He's in college and in grad school right now, but I've been speaking to him and set him up.
I am so excited. I am so proud of each and every one of us. It's like, man, I want to retire tomorrow.
These are these are clips from our celebration. So when you come into the app, when you complete the Stocks 101 Bootcamp, complete the Passive Income Bootcamp, we are going to celebrate you. I want to see everybody's name on that graduation list. I want to be playing your testimonial on the screen, because you are excited just like the women I just showed you guys. So when you get inside of this app, first things first is Stocks 101. Let's get the account open. Let's make sure you master stocks. Let's make sure you master REITs, and sessions are going to begin immediately. And congrats to Daphne, who's inside the app. Michael, Monique is a member. Garnett, congrats to Margaret. I see Alana. Alana, I just saw when you came in. When you get in, sessions start immediately. You can get in immediately, okay? Now, those of you who need help, you want us to hold your spot, but you want to get in, text our enrollment advisor, 855-552-5411. If you're not able to get in right now, but you need us to hold your spot, text our enrollment advisor now. We'll make sure we hold your spot. Now, I want to show you guys again, I'm all about evidence. This is for the person who feels behind, the person who thinks they don't have enough money, the person who feels overwhelmed. I want to show you Sarah, and I want everybody to watch it, because this is our oldest member in our app. Sarah is 80 years old. This woman, I just saw her post in the app yesterday. She has graduated Stocks 101. She has graduated Passive Income Bootcamp. This is her daughter next to her. We gave her an award for being the most wisest and eldest member in our app. Don't you dare tell me you can't do this. Our grandmothers, our great grandmothers didn't get access to this information. And the fact that you have access to it, and literally Sarah growing up didn't get this. But when she was 80 years old, she says, you're not leaving me behind. I want to show you guys Sarah. And when I come back, I am picking one person who got in as an annual member, and I'm giving away $300. I want to fund your ETF portfolio. We're going to pick someone who is inside of the app. But I want you to watch this 60-second clip of Sarah.
I know why I did it, and I believe that it's just a program that will help you get it together, and it will help you understand and develop courage to take that plunge, to take that leap. Changing your mindset about the program was a very important part of it. And that's what it did for me. Changing my mindset, helping me to understand, exposing me to what was out there, giving me the courage and confidence to invest, not only in myself, but in the system, and to have faith and belief that I am helping myself and my family for the generational wealth that I've always wanted. My name is Sarah Sexton, and I am a wealth builder.
Every time I see that video, I'm reminded, I feel like I'm behind sometimes. I feel like I need help. When I see this one, when I say you go into this app right now, you search her name, you are going to see her actively talking on the timeline, actively commenting and celebrating everybody, actively coming to the live sessions. She's 80. Now, to be in the app, you only need 3 hours a week to knock this out, to hit these boot camps, to make sure you come out with the portfolio, to make sure you come out with a dividend strategy, to make sure you come out with confidence. Now, some people are in our app all the time, but I would recommend, especially if you are somebody who's busy, someone who needs structure and systems, you want to make sure 3 hours a week, the minimum. You're going to first take Stocks 101, and then you're going to take passive income and growth stocks. But after that 45 days, when you knock out Stocks 101, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go into passive income boot camp. I want you to knock out growth stocks boot camp. But there are over 7 boot camps that come with your membership. Now, annual members, I'm talking to the annual members. If you don't have the full 700, you can get a monthly membership. But here's what's important. The annual members are the ones who are committed. Annual members save 40%. Annual members are getting invited to an exclusive session that I am literally having in a week for only annual members. So if you want to get in and you don't want us to fill up spots for that session, you need to get in right now. We are going to map out your strategy, help you evaluate the previous 90 days and develop a strategy for your next 90 days. Make sure you're crystal clear on how you can increase your passive income this coming quarter, to make sure your children are set up so you have a game plan to understand and analyze what you have and how you have it. This session we only do 4 times a year, and it's only for annual members. I am also going to invite you to an exclusive session where I'm going to walk you through what I have. Annual members will get access to that session where I walk you through the REITs that I own, the stocks that I own, the ones that I sold. Empify.link/stocks101. Now, those of you who are in the Northeast area, this is Mahogany. She's actually one of the leads to our chapter in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area. This woman joined our app in 2022. She now has a 6-figure portfolio. 6-figure portfolio. Literally says this incredible journey of wealth building has been exciting and rewarding. She started investing in January 2022, and I am proud to announce that my brokerage accounts total over $100,000. This woman is a mother who's worked in the school system. She has $49,000 in growth stocks, $20,000 in dividend stocks, and $31,000 in REITs. Imagine you coming out a few years of just learning, and you got a portfolio that's now 6 figures, a portfolio that's paying you thousands in passive income. But you see, she didn't sit here and say, oh, I joined today and I made all this money the next day. She was focused. She was committed. She's a mother. How many of you are building and taking care of your kids, and it's challenging? Life gets in the way, but you don't want to look up a year from now and don't have the money you know you deserve. Here, this is literally the tri-state chapter that we have. So you will come out having your account set up. Yes, that's a great question. You can do monthly now and you can upgrade to annual later. Yes, you can. So you can start the boot camp. Yes, you can. I just want to make sure to get access to all the bonuses, to get invited to the sessions. You want to make sure you're able to upgrade. Now, here's the thing. After 365 days, you're going to make a decision. One, you're going to say, I got everything I needed. Or two, you can renew. You are locked in at that rate. So when the price changes, you are locked in at your rate. I love it. Eugene says, I am 80. Eugene, I want you to send us an email. Team, can we make sure we reach out to Eugene? Eugene, I think you are officially the oldest member in our app, the most wisest and experienced member in our app. I want to celebrate you. Can we all celebrate the fact that Eugene said, I'm not afraid. I don't feel behind, and I don't think I'm too old. Team, let's please make sure. Eugene, I want to celebrate you because I know this making a decision, because some of you, this isn't easy. Some of you, this is just a swipe of a credit card. Some of you have to move money around. Some of you have to figure out how to make this work. Some of you have to move mountains, but you are ready. And I'm ready to hold you accountable. And get this, guess what we do? We track your progress. We look to see if you're graduating. We reach out to you if we see you're slacking. And if that means we have to pick up the phone to call you, if that means you need help with technology, we are here to support you. We have a no member left behind policy. So Eugene, I think you've got us beat. I think you've got Sarah beat. I want to celebrate you. I am super excited for you to build. I want to know what you have set up, what you don't have set up. If you're in retirement, if you're looking to get to retirement, I think if you have grandchildren, let's make sure you get inside of our legacy planning boot camp and the parent investing boot camp, because the woman, Sarah, I showed you, she brought her daughter and she has grandchildren. So I want to make sure that everything we can do for you and your family, we have you locked in while you are a member inside of this app. But I want to celebrate you because every day we do this, this is something dynamic. I am excited to build, and I want to show up for you in every way that I can, because I know it is not easy, but I want to make sure if you need help with technology, any of you, let us know. Because you can use our app on the phone, your iPad. Some people use it on a television. You can use it on your computer. Go to empify.link/stocks101. All right, you guys got, I see Tessa is in the app. Fred, congrats to Carla, Eugene, Beth, Andre, Christina. I think we might sell out this cohort, guys. Riley, I see another Christina, James. Revin, I hope I'm saying your name. Michelle, Demi, congratulations. Lighty, I think I'm saying your name right. Lahari, Liza. Who else? Daquan, Danielle, Hassan. We might be selling out during this class. We just opened this cohort last week. All right, here's what I want to do. I'm giving you 60 seconds, empify.link/stocks101. Here are the rules. The team is going to pick one person who got inside of the WB app. One person who got inside the app. And we are going to pick one person, and we are going to have to be an annual member. And we are going to pick one person. I'm going to give away $300. I want to connect you with our team, and we're going to ACH you that money ASAP. I'm going to give you, all right, you got 60 seconds. Hurry up if you're working to get in it. And by the way, if you have a question, write it in the chat. I'll be here to answer. I want to make sure everyone's comfortable. Everyone's clear on what they get. And I just want to make sure. So if you have a question that I missed, write it in the chat. We are going to do deep dives into portfolios. You're going to meet another expert in our app. Rob, I've known him for over 20 years. You're going to learn which investments are best positioned to pay you income. There are live sessions. We have events that are coming up. Empify.link/stocks101. Now, here's a snapshot of some of the boot camps. How many of you want to be debt-free? Comment debt-free, because there is a debt pay down boot camp. We have this new credit partner. They're not new. We've been working with them all year, that all of our members have been using to help increase their credit score, to help them buy homes, to get things removed off their credit report. There's a debt pay down boot camp so we can start knocking out this debt so we can invest more. There's a legacy planning boot camp. All of this comes with your membership. All of this. And so as an annual member and you're inside of this app, You can choose to renew 365 days later, or you can say, look, I got everything I need. I don't know any member that has done every boot camp in our app in a year, but if you have the time, lock in. There's a retirement boot camp, Stocks 101, Stocks 102. After you graduate Stocks 101, that is available. Go to empify.link/Stocks 101. All right, are we ready to announce the winner? Comment I'm in if you are already inside of the app. Comment I'm in. And also, if you're working on it, comment I'm working on it. Those of you who need us to hold your spot, take a picture of the slide right here. Text this number. We're also putting it in the chat. 855-552-5411. You need us to hold your spot so you can come to that annual member quarterly wealth planning session. Please text us so we can hold your spot so we don't give it away and we can still get you inside of that session. I see a couple people working on it. Yes, our boot camps part of, yes, every boot camp, Virginia, you have access to. I believe there's 10 of them. There might be a little bit more. Every boot camp you have access to. Yes, yes, yes. Comment, I'm working on it if you are working on it. Empify.link/Stocks 101. All right, are we ready to announce the winner? Are we ready to announce the winner? Here's a snapshot of just all the boot camps that you'll have access to. Are we ready to announce the winner? Here's everything that you guys are going to get. Remember, the rest of this year, 3 boot camps I want you to finish. Comment, if you're in this app or you're working on getting in, comment, I'm graduating. Because I'm talking to the person who wants to finish. The person who's tired of starting something and not following through. The person who needs accountability. Remember, we're going to track your progress. We track. One, you want to come in and I want to make sure we're graduating. So Stocks 101 to get the ETF and Stocks Foundation, passive income boot camp, especially if you want passive income. Then the growth stocks. Those are the faster growing stocks that you will have access to. Go to empify.link/Stocks 101. Every annual member, you are going to get access to. It's the top stocks to consider for the year. The top stocks to consider under $100. You're going to get 2 guys that are going to help you buy your first ETF and your first dividend stock literally in 7 days. There's also going to be a session you will get access to of the top stocks I own. Please watch that, because not only do I tell you what I own, I tell you what I sold and why I bought it. Okay, that's important. All right. Drum roll. Everybody comment drum roll. If you hurry up and trying to get into the app, you better hurry up. Comment drum roll in the app. Comment drum roll in the chat. We are about to pick the winner. So here are the rules so everybody knows. And while I'm explaining the rules, you better hurry up and get in. Empify.link/Stocks 101. Empify.link/Stocks 101. I'm gonna put the site on the screen so you got it, and I'll get back to this. Empify. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. Here are the rules. The rules are you have to be in this session with me live. Okay. If I call your name, you have to be here. If I say your name and you're the winner, comment in the chat 6-7 times. I'm here. So that myself and the team can see you, because there's a lot of people in the class. We are going to connect you with our finance team, and we are going to send you that money ACH directly to the account of your choice. I want to get that money to you ASAP. The winner is going to get $300. I want to fund someone's portfolio. Go to empify.link/Stocks 101. All right, the team is picking someone right now. Empify.link/Stocks 101. Here we go. Wait. It's not until I call your name. The winner is, and remember, you have to be here. Takira McCoy. Is Miss Takira McCoy here? Takira is an annual member inside of our app. She got in literally minutes ago. She was selected. Now, Takira, if you are here, we're going to look for you. Go to empify.link/Stocks 101. Everyone that's still working to get in. And those of you who don't have the full $6.99, you can get the monthly membership and upgrade. You can still start learning. You can still start the Stocks 101. Take passive income. You have access to all boot camps. You have access to the Golden Society. So here she is. Hold on. I think I see you. Takira, there you go. Listen, Takira, you followed the instructions. I love it. Can we congratulate Takira? Takira says, I'm getting in. I'm locking in the remainder of 2026. And she's ready. Now, Takira, I know your name. I need to know you're going to graduate. I need to know you are going to graduate while you are inside. So you can't quit on me. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be doing the work for anybody here, by the way. I'm not. You have to meet me halfway. I can't make you take a boot camp, but I can give you the blueprint to making sure you get a portfolio. I can make sure you have a strategy in place so you can understand the next step for retirement. I can make sure you understand what stocks to buy, what stocks you don't want to buy, how to decide if you buy ETFs or stocks. I can help train your mind on what you need to do. To get in as a monthly member, it is $97 a month. It is $97 a month to get in as a monthly member. Empify.link/stocks101. Now, I want to show you guys Michael. So Michael said he joined a few weeks ago. He said, so the amazing thing, before I joined the community, I opened a brokerage account 2 years ago, and it sat idle until he completed the passive income boot camp, and he invested in his first REIT yesterday. He finished the boot camp, became an investor. This man is going to make passive income every 90 days just from what he learned in the boot camp. I want you guys to imagine you are coming out with a passive income portfolio, that you have the confidence and the clarity that your family was not blessed with, that you now have a structure in place, but you were able to move at your own pace. Go to empify.link/stocks101 to get in. You guys, what do you guys think about me doing another giveaway? Who's still trying to get in? Who's still trying to get in? You think I should do another giveaway? What do you guys think? Should I do another giveaway? What do you guys think? Empify.com. Should I do another giveaway? I think I got something special that you guys are going to like. Who's still working on getting in? Who's still working on getting in? Comment, I'm still working on it. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to do another giveaway. What I'm going to do is, there's only one requirement, though. You have to at least knock out the first 2 steps in the boot camp. I want to do a live coaching session with one annual member who gets inside the app. I'm going to bring you up, and I am going to coach you. I am going to help you build your portfolio. My only requirement, though, is when you're in, you have to knock out the first 2 steps in the boot camp. I'm going to pick one person, and I am going to coach you. And you know what that means? 1, you can ask me whatever you want. 2, I'm going to understand you enough to help you build a strategy and build actionable steps so that I can coach you. And if you do this right with me and you implement the strategy, I'll bring you back up and we'll do another session. I want to follow your progress. I'm going to pick one person who gets an annual membership. And I want to tell you this, though. This is an investment in you. This is you saying, I'm willing to work to step outside my comfort zone so that I can make sure my family is set. I'm not coming to get rich quick, but I am coming to make sure that I have wealth forever, that I have a game plan, that I have a strategy. This is an investment in you. I'm not doing the work for you, but I will meet you halfway. I will cheer you on. I will celebrate you. I will make sure you get your gift. I will make sure that you are connected to the right people. I will make sure you have access to private groups so you don't feel like you're doing this alone. Because I'm going to tell you this, what goes on in our app, you might not see on your timeline. I can't control your external life, but I can control how we operate and the energy of the people inside of our community. There's a reason why there's almost 8,000 members in our app. Go to empify.link/stocks101. Now, who's still working on getting in? Comment, I'm in if you are in. Comment, I need a coach if you want to be one of the people I pick to do this coaching session with. Comment, I need a coach if you are ready to get coached. If you are ready to go to that next level. I'm only talking to the people who want to go to that next level. Shout out to Simone. I see Simone is inside the app. Congrats to McNeil. Darnell, Sandra's in the app. Callie is in the app. Who else do I see? Dorothy is inside the app. Now, I want you guys to imagine that you had 24/7 access to classes like this. How many of you learned something during this class? How many of you learned something during this class? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what we can do in a year together? Can you imagine what you'll have access to in an entire year? Can you imagine what having access to a leveled up environment will give you? Imagine being the change maker in your family. I'm talking to Tanika, Michelle. Imagine, I want you guys to sit back and think, imagine if you could retire with ease. You could retire with clarity. Imagine if you met me halfway and we built your wealth game plan together. Imagine. Now, I also want you to think about, imagine what life will be like if you don't start. Imagine if you never start pouring. How many of you right now are feeling like your cup is empty because you've been pouring out to everybody, but nobody's taking care of you? How about we do something for you now? How about we show our ancestors, our grandparents? My great-grandmother used to clean houses for rich people. No one taught her how to build wealth. You now have access to an app in the palm of your hand, and you can learn how to invest. You can build a strategy. There are billion-dollar companies out here that are, I'm going to tell you this, over $1.7 trillion was paid out in dividends last year. $1.7 trillion. You mean to tell me that you don't deserve to make $100 a month? How about you will come out as a member in this app and you will know exactly what you need to do to use your stocks to pay your membership every year. You remember Mahogany? You think Mahogany uses her dividends. She makes enough in her dividends to cover her membership inside the app. How about we start using your dividends that you're going to learn how to create in the passive income bootcamp? How about you use your dividends to start paying down some of your debt, to start paying off your bills? But imagine if you continue to operate out of fear. Imagine if you keep trying to do this on your own. Do you know that I spend over $200,000 on coaches because I'm trying to become someone I've never been and do things I've never done? So I'm making an investment in me. You know, I can go to the gym and work out on my own, but I pay for a trainer because I need someone to hold me accountable. I need to be guided by people who have done the things that I am wanting to do. Because if I had the answers, I would have been doing it already. I'm trying to build $1 billion business. But before I hit $1 billion, I need to build a business that is not worth 9 figures. So guess what? I'm going to get coached by people who can help me get there. I've never done that. My family can't help me do that. I'm the one leading the charge. You are the one in your family that's the wealth builder. And it's hard and it's lonely. But I'd rather you do it alongside people who are that person in their family too. Who are that person who's not afraid to do it alone, but now they have a place where they feel safe. Now they have a place where you invest $5. We're all celebrating you. So go to empify.link/stocks101. Now, before I show you the app, you guys want to see the app? I want to pick that one person. I am going to create a Build My Portfolio coaching session just for you. It's not even on the calendar yet. We are going to have a coaching session. I'm going to create a whole new session just for you. One person who is an annual member inside of the app. Empify.link/stocks101. Yes, Simone says, build my portfolio. I am going to build your portfolio. All right, I'm giving you 60 more seconds. I want to pick one person who is an annual member. Now, if you do not have the full $6.99 to join, you can join monthly for $97 a month. Yes, you can. $97 a month. You are able to start the boot camps. Now, this guy, Paul, so he says, Heather's our community engagement. He said the year's off to a start. He joined just a few months ago. He finished the passive income boot camp. He finished the debt pay down boot camp. He said, I'm investing in stocks and REITs, and I'm spending more time watching financial investing and business programs focused on stocks. I'm very intentional about paying down my debt, dropping subscriptions, and using those funds to buy more stocks. Enjoy your day, Heather, and a huge thanks to Ashley, to Rob, the entire team for making a difference in my life and the Empify community. He joined at the top of the year. He's already taken 2 boot camps. The debt pay down boot camp and the passive income boot camp. Empify.link/stocks101. Are we ready to announce the winner? All right, team, here we go. And again, if you just have to get the $97 monthly, do it. Do it, and you can upgrade later, but at least you can start with this cohort. At least you can join the Golden Society. At least you can start. Let's build. We don't know what's going to happen to this country. We don't know what's going to happen to the market. You got to be ready. But while you're making money, whatever income you have coming in, let's start putting it to work now. We all have a job description. It's time to give our money a job description. All right, here we go, team. Let's pick. We're going to pick the winner. We're picking one more winner. Now, the winner, same rules. You have to be here. When we call your name, if I call your name, only when I call your name, I want you to write. You have to write, I'm here. Those of you who are asking about the starter kit, this is nothing to do with that. The entire everything that's in that starter kit times 1,000 is in the app. The starter kits are emailed to you. Check your spam. It gets sent to you automatically. That kit was used to help you prepare for this class. The app is to help you take this class to the next level. So please check your inbox. Starter kits are automatically sent to you, but that was only to help you prepare for the class. I want to make sure. I saw somebody asking that. Now, rules. If I call your name, you're the winner. And I am going to do question. If I do the 97 now, will I still get the 699? Yes. If you do 97 now, you are able to upgrade at the 699 rate. Yes, you can. And we will make sure you get the bonuses. You just got to let us know when you want to upgrade, but you can easily do it, or we can show you how to get it done. But yes, you will get the bonuses and you'll get invited to the sessions. But you can start the boot camps. You'll have access to everything. You can join the private groups. You can do all of that. So yes. Empify.link. All right, here we go. Are we ready to pick the winner before I hop off? And are there any questions? I'm going to show you guys the app so you guys can see it. But are there any questions that you guys have that I did not answer? If you have any questions, please write it in the chat. Please write it in the chat. Empify.link/stocks101. All right, we're going to pick one winner. I'm going to design. So this winner, we are going to design a session for you. I mean, I'm going to put it in the calendar, put it in the calendar, put it on my calendar, put it on your calendar. We're going to have a live session where I'm going to coach you. Okay. No. So Lakeisha, no. The 97 covers the first 30 days. If you want an annual membership, the 699 covers you from 365 days and beyond. All right, here we go. Virginia Willis is the winner. Miss Virginia Willis, are you here? You are the winner. Do we not do? Hold on. Yep, Miss Virginia Willis, you are the winner. You Empify.link/stocks101. Miss Virginia, are you here? Comment, I'm here. I thought I just saw you. Comment, excuse me, I'm here. Miss Virginia Willis, do we see her in the chat? Do we see her in the chat? I want to answer some questions that I'm seeing in the chat, but if you have, you cannot find the app. So when you create your account, it should prompt you to download the app, but you can go to the App Store and go to Wealth Builders Community and just sign in. Do not pay for the app from the App Store because they'll charge you extra fees. So you can also go to empify.com and right at the top, it'll say sign in. You can sign into your account, but you can also download the app on your phone or your iPad. Do we see Miss Virginia Willis? So Virginia Willis, you are the winner. Let's look for Miss Virginia. I don't see her in the chat just yet, but if Miss Virginia is here, Virginia Willis, you are the winner. We are going to do a live coaching session with you. I'm seeing people say congratulations, but hold on, we got to find you. Miss Virginia Willis, if you're here, comment, I'm here. So question, is this a beginner's course? Stocks 101, yes. But there's a Stocks 102 that's not beginners. And you get invited to that when you finish Stocks 101. Passive Income Bootcamp, if you've invested before, you're fine. But if you don't have a passive income coming in, it is a completely different strategy. Okay, I see Virginia. All right, Virginia, you are the winner. Do me a favor, Virginia. Send me an email. Send us an email to this email address on the screen right here saying I'm the winner. What we are going to do, we are going to lock in a date for us to do the coaching session. Now, Virginia, this is going to be a live session that we do, but there's only one rule. I need you to complete the first 2 steps in Stocks 101 at minimum, because it'll make our coaching session a lot easier. So go to empify.links/stocks101 if you are still looking to get in. Virginia, send us an email to info@empify.com. Let us know you're the winner. We are going to coordinate, but we want to give you time to knock out the first 2 sessions though. So it's going to happen ASAP, but let's knock out those first 2 sessions. And I want to make sure I guide you through the boot camp to help you build your portfolio. How long do you have access? Annual members, you have access for 365 days. You can choose to renew or you can cancel, whichever works best for you. We have some members like Mahogany that's been in our app since 2022. What happens if you have questions? Couple things. We have around the clock support. You can email us. You can text us. If you need us to schedule a call with you, we can do that as well. But we also have live Q&A sessions that happen all the time in the app. So come to the extra sessions, the office hours to ask questions. It is a very interactive community. So you're not like, hey, do this boot camp and then that's it. Like as long as you come to sessions, you engage, you're reading what the timeline is saying, you'll be completely fine. But if you need extra help or you're shy, you got to let us know. But we will monitor your progress. If we see you falling off or we see you disappear, we're going to reach out to you. What I don't want you to do is make an investment to be here and you don't finish what you started. I want you must come out with the passive income portfolio. You must make sure you know exactly what to do with your portfolio so we can pay for your membership. And that will happen as long as you graduate. You graduate, especially that passive income bootcamp, within 90 days, you will have a passive income portfolio. That I can promise you, but you have to graduate. Do you have to pay for more boot camps once you finish? No, you do not. You do not. Annual membership is $6.99 for the entire year, or you can do $97 a month and you can upgrade later. But annual members do get access to all the bonuses. Annual members do get access to the top stocks to consider this year. Annual members do get access to the how to buy your first ETF and dividend stock in 7 days. Annual members will get a special invite to a quarterly training that we are doing exclusively only for annual members that are going to help you master and build your strategy to evaluate the last quarter, this quarter, and everything we're going to knock out and do in 2026. You are also going to get a session that I did where I broke down what I own. I'd give you specifically the investments that I own, my strategy, why I own them, and actually how I'm hitting my $10,000 a month dividend goal. So go to empify.link/stocks101. Let me go to the chat before I hop off and make sure I answered any questions. Okay, Virginia says she just emailed us. I love it. Anyone have any questions? Those of you, anyone on the fence? Anybody on the fence? Anybody confused? We still got some people in here. Is anybody confused? Let's do it, Virginia. I'm excited. Now, Virginia, make sure you go into the private groups and you join the Golden Society. I want you to if you're over 50, make sure you're in the Golden Society. Make sure you're there. Remember, here's our blueprint. Stocks 101, passive, growth stocks. You can take other boot camps if you want to. They are available for you. You're within your whole year of being with us, you'll be able to get into these different boot camps if you want. What I'd recommend is not taking a bunch of boot camps because I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but you do have access to them. Are there any questions that I did not answer? Those of you who need us to hold your spot, 855-552-5411. Text us when you need us to hold your spot so we don't give away your spot and so you can still come to the quarterly training that we are doing for our annual members. But text us, hold my spot if you need us to hold your spot. All right. One last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys what the app looks like so you can see. All right. Empify.link/stocks101. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the app. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll show you guys the different boot camps and I'll show you guys inside the passive income bootcamp as well too. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. Share my screen. All right, here we go. Can everyone see my screen? All right, here we go. Oh no. Okay, here I'm gonna say the app is not loading. Hold on, here we go. Ooh, the app is not loading. Let me see if the timeline works. All right, the timeline works. Hold on. So over here, so this is our main timeline right here. So we have a book club, a mentality and money book club session. If you guys want to join that, it comes with your membership. You see people posting REITs, people investing, the stock market today. We're talking about all types of stuff. You see this, Nathaniel he bought a bunch of REITs today. So you see, we're talking on the timeline all the time. But over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the investing school. The investing school is where you'll see the brokerage account jumpstart, the passive income bootcamp, stocks 101, growth stocks, options trading, stocks 102, recession. So these are just boot camps you'll have access to. So here's the stocks 101. So if you see stocks 101 right here, as soon as you join is a brokerage account jumpstart. 25-minute session mapping out, if you don't have an account, how to open your account. So if you see Miriam just said over here, completed. I have opened my Charles Schwab account a couple weeks ago. Opened my account with Charles Schwab a couple days ago. This literally all happened within 24 hours. So people are taking this and opening up their brokerage accounts. So you'll go step by step, how to process your transaction. We walk through the brokerage account so you know all the features, okay? Then we got meet your instructors, graduation requirements, orientation, and then boom. First session, how to create and achieve your investment goals. This session is 41 minutes. Sessions typically are 50 minutes or less, most of them. So this is session 1. Look, just right here, an hour ago, Billy said, looking forward to putting my why, my goals on paper. So he's already implementing and doing the things we talk about during this session. And what will happen is you'll go through step by step by step. Hot topics are just extra resources, a bunch of downloads for you. And then you go to step 2. What are key investment types as a beginner? Step 3, how to make the money in the stock market. Step 4, how to research stocks and ETFs. Step 5, how to analyze. So every section will unlock as you complete it, and it'll be there for you step by step. Now, if you go over here at the top, right at the top, everybody has an events and replays section. So this is where you can see all the events. We got, what do we have? Analyzing your REIT portfolio, building my portfolio. We got orientation. I'm doing an Ask Me Anything session. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. Literally all the way down. You see everything from September, October, November. We have a lot of stuff that you guys will have access to. So you'll be able to see these. And also, if you ever want to see our past events or just replays we have, you can go to the past events and it'll show you all the replays that if you want to see. So here we did the mentality and money, the Midwest chapter had our favorite REITs session. So people are exchanging investment ideas. Georgia had a virtual chapter meeting. So there's a whole bunch, but these are our graduations. There's a ton of stuff that is available for you guys that is really, really cool. So you can always watch the replay if you miss a live session. But if I scroll down here, those of you who want to be in the Golden Society. So if you scroll down, you'll see the private groups: Golden Society, Florida Wealth Circle, Texas Wealth Circle, Georgia, DMV, Tri-State, Philly, Midwest. There's also more chapters that are opening. So feel free to join the chapter. You have access to it. It comes with your membership. But these are just more boot camps, passive income boot camp. This is our main timeline where we're talking all the time with you guys. You'll see me posting stuff literally all the time, all day, every day on the timeline to be able to help you guys, to help you navigate. All right, empify.link/stocks101. So that was just a sneak peek inside of the app. Do we have any additional questions before I hop off? What if you don't have the money? One, that is the reason why you need to be in the app. If you are not able to do the full $6.99, go to empify.link/stocks101, do the $97 a month membership. But understand this is an investment in you. You can try and do this on your own. I can tell you, you're not going to be able to find a place now this app was designed based off my experience. So I didn't just learn stocks on Wall Street. Like I can sit and teach you. Yep, these are allergies. You see me scratching my nose. I got allergies. There's an entire life insurance boot camp where I can help you map out life insurance, where there's a retirement boot camp. There's a parent investing boot camp. So I have a holistic perspective on building wealth. I'm not just a person that talks about stocks and REITs, and you get access to all of that inside of the app. And we have office hours Q&A sessions, as well as, sorry guys, my allergies are acting up. But I also introduce you to different experts that you may need. Those of you who want to learn options, there's an options boot camp. I'm not an options trader, but there is an options boot camp where you can learn. Go to empify.link. Okay. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. Hold on. If you're having trouble with technology, just send us an email. All right, are we good to go? Is everyone, if you reached out to us with Hold My Spot, our team will get back to you. Don't worry. You might be in a queue, but if you're in, we will hold your spot. But please be cognizant that if you want us to hold your spot, do not take a spot away from somebody else if you're not serious. We want to make sure that we hold your spot and we honor that, the bonuses and everything. So please make sure you actually want us to hold your spot. Those of you who don't have all the money, totally fine. You can get a $97 a month membership and you have access to all the boot camps and you can start now. What do you have access to with the $97 a month? All the boot camps. So you can take the passive income boot camp, stocks 101, the options, the retirement. Every boot camp comes with your membership and you have access to the private groups. What monthly members don't get, you will not get invited to the annual member quarterly wealth planning online workshop. But you can upgrade if you want to and get access to the bonuses. And there are also bonuses, top apps to top stocks to consider for the year, top stocks under $100. There's a session that I did where I walk you through the investments that I have. Great question. So are boot camps extra? No, you do not have to pay for any boot camps. There are over 10 boot camps. Whether you are monthly or annual, you do have access to it. You do. Yes. Empify.link/stocks101. All right, guys, I am out of here. If you have any questions, I'll put our email address on the screen. Send us an email. We will be here to support you. Everybody, there's a bunch of people inside of the app. A ton. Congrats. I see Mark is in, Tiffany, Virginia. I love it. Send us an email if you have questions. And we will make sure we do everything we can to support you. If you have questions, let us know. Everyone else, I will see you guys inside of the app. Have a great day, a great evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll see you guys later.
I have been a member of the Wealth Builders community for 4 years now. And when I first saw Ashley in person, it was a few words she said that sparked fire in me. She said, "You can't work or save your way to wealth. You must invest." I was hooked then. Then after having her as my Stocks 101 teacher, my passive income teacher, and Rob as the Re-Accelerator GOAT teacher, it changed my life. I was already a good steward of my money. I'm a single mother of 4 children. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for about 23 years now. And I saved my money. And I looked at my interest payments that the banks were giving me, and it added up to less than $8. I said, well, wait a minute, this math isn't mathing. So I started investing January of 2022. Within the first 90 days, I had made over $250 in passive income. And within 6 months, we had invested over $1 million as a community. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm never leaving Empify. I am a wealth builder for life. One thing I can say about our Empify family is that you are never alone. You have Q&A sessions. You have people that will reach out to you if they see that you're not active anymore. And Rob and Ashley are the best teachers for helping us change our legacy. I never thought about having a legacy before joining Empify. Now I know I have a legacy and it's continuing to grow. Starting off with a few $1,000s investing. Now I can say I have portfolios over $96,000. And it's all thanks to Ashley and Rob and the whole Empify team. And I will continue. I invest in my brokerage accounts every month because it is important for me to leave assets to my children as opposed to debt. And with Ashley and Rob's inspiration, I see myself being able to see 2 commas in my accounts. If anybody understands what 2 commas looks like, that's over $1 million. And within the next 5 years, I know I'm going to be a millionaire, thanks to Ashley Fox and Rob Boyd and the entire Empify team. And I thank you guys for everything that you pour into us. Know that they will hold your hand the entire way. They give you information that other people try and hold and say, no, we can't give that to you. Ashley and Rob open up their arms and say, here, it's for you. Everybody can invest. Everybody can leave a legacy for their families. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I did not know all of that stuff about you. Thank you so much.
Empify for life. I tell you, I'm a wealth builder for life.
I love the 5 year, 5 years, 2 commas. I like that. I like that. And the crazy thing is, it is so possible. Yes. It is so possible. But thank you so much. We are proud of you. And thank you so much.
And anybody that want to come and join the Tri-State chapter, come on in. We're welcoming all new members.
Thank you so much. You heard it there. She's running one of the chapters, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Mahogany. We appreciate it.
Welcome to the Wealth Builders community. I'm here to tell you that this is the real deal.
Hey, Wealth Builder, let me give you some advice. So that you don't feel overwhelmed, I would say stick to one thing and go all in on it. And then from there, continue building outwards.
There's a lot here, but we are a lovely, friendly group of people, and you'll get good guidance about where to start and how to continue. You are absolutely in the right place for your future.
I would say you are amongst 2 of the best financial educators that want nothing more from you than to see you grow and be financially stable on your own.
Welcome to the place where you didn't know that you needed to be. The place where your dreams are not too much. The place where your goals will be stretched beyond their limit. The place where you can give and also receive support.
Is a place where you get lots of information. It's overwhelming. Yes, I understand. But don't give up. You will be a pro at it in no time.
Welcome to the journey that can and will change your life. Don't be intimidated. Embrace this moment. Be encouraged. Take it step by step. And if life throws you a curveball, know that it's okay to pause. But I do not want you to stop. You got it. I know sometimes you're wondering, but you got it. So just make it happen. And everything is going to be okay and fall into place.
Enjoy this journey of wealth building and community. There's no place like Empify.
Empify is one of the best communities to be a part of. So if you are in this space, you absolutely belong in this room. You belong here with everyone who is here to support you, encourage you on your journey to wealth building.
You're exactly where you need to be at the exact moment, and we're happy to welcome you. We're asked that you lean in, stay consistent, and trust the process.
You couldn't have made a better decision. Trust me when I say that. This is a place where it's safe, it's warm, it's welcoming. This is a positive environment to be in. You will experience true humanity in its most organic form.
It might feel like a lot at first. You'll be introduced to new terms, new habits, and you may even have some doubts, but I promise you, you're not alone. We've all been there. This community is full of people who truly care and want to see you win.
I would say the best thing to do is take your time. Do not rush through anything, because you'll get caught up in the cycle of, I want to learn, but your action is not being put to the test. So I would say, take your time, learn the material, pause, rewind as many times as you need to, then practice what you've learned. I'm so glad you're here because I'm so excited. I just know what's in store for you, and I would say welcome home.